Shalom, shalom. Let's do that again. Let's go. One moment, folks. Hey, how you doing? We're ending Purim. Hold on one moment. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited. That's right, you are invited. Come on in, come on in.
The East is where we're from.
Shalom, shalom.
The 12 tribes
Happy
of
Purim.
Israel. In
721 BC. Come on.
the Assyrian king,
He took us down, we fell. Come on.
with a great escape we went through the Euphrates.
The
The Lord held the water still
Come on.
to a land where no mankind dwelt. We went, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel.
Come on. Blessings, brothers and sisters.
Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, our highest gathering Israel.
That's right. The Most High is gathering Israel. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church here with our weekly broadcast. Shalom to my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Actually, this week, we all have received an extra treat. Not just one broadcast since last night, Happy Purim, but the closing of Purim with our normally scheduled Wednesday broadcast. I would like to say all praises be to the Most High God of Israel, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya, in the name of Yeshaya, Rawchaa. That's the Most High God in the name of Christ through the Holy Spirit. I would like to invite you all and thank you all for being a part of this great awakening. That's right. I'm Elder Rawchaa here. And no soon as I get on the line, it took me over hours to actually set up this. And no soon as I began, what happens? You got it. The tracker rings. One moment. All right. We're going to put this to the side. Right on cue, right? That's right. All praises be to the Most High. And happy Purim to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Boy, did we have, man, we had a good time. We had a good time last night with the saints. I would wish the brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth a blessed Purim. those that are in the body and those who are yet to come in, who didn't have the luxury of actually gathering with the location, but don't worry about it. We are working on that to get a location in your locale. So don't worry about it. We're working on it, but happy Purim nonetheless. Man, the sisters, and they did a great job in decorating. It was so beautiful there. I mean, the gifts, the sisters came up with the gifts and all that, and we're giving out the gifts in celebration of our sister Esther, Queen Esther, during the time of the Persian Empire in the 5th century, in which she married the king, and as queen, that's right, she rid our people of an enemy, Amalek, okay? And Amalek is still working, okay? Now, and we've exposed that last night, so those who didn't see that, please go back and see that broadcast we did last night. Resounding, but at the end of it, a celebration, a giving of gifts, all right? In commemoration of what happened in our time in ancient Persia. How y'all doing? Everyone is saying happy feast, happy feast, happy feast. I'm trying to look at this and talk at the same time. So let me jump right into it, right? Let me jump right into it. Okay, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Okay, this week in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. This week in the Hebrew and Bible Academy, we're going into UFOs and the Bible, exposing the gods of this world. Aliens aren't from another planet, okay? Aliens are the fallen gods who are actually ruling over governments. That's right. All elected officials in this earth have always reported to them. Well, we're going to go into that and more this coming Sunday, exposing the alien conspiracies. What does the Bible say about unidentified flying objects? It was in the Bible the whole time. Elizabeth would say, it's such an amazing academy. Thank you, sister. We go through so much effort and work and study to make it, an experience second to none. But without your participation, what could it be? So thank you for that, okay? Now, thinking of that, aliens, folks, there was an invasion, but it was a long time ago. The aliens were here, or the gods were here, before Adam. They were trapped in the firmament when the Most High destroyed the construct they were attempting to build in this same place called the face of the deep. The Most High destroyed it and put a line around it and trapped the gods in the earth. Okay? That's right, folks. Satan and his angels are the so-called aliens, and I'm going to prove it. Okay? And that's where you get your Marvel comics and all these other Superman, Krypton was destroyed, hurled to earth, and all this other mess they made to sideways worship the gods they serve. The S on the chest wasn't for Superman. The S is the serpent, Satan. Okay? So that and more. I don't want to give too much away, but since we're talking about aliens in space, so that no one out there can think that we are conspiracy theorists, well, if what we're teaching out of the Bible isn't correct, then someone please explain this to me. If what we're saying isn't correct, can someone please explain this? Okay? What is this? While they're distracting the majority of the world today, they put the fair use over here. Do y'all know they have an Israel space agency? Do you know that? Do you know y'all tax money is going right now to an Israel space agency? So why are they attempting to go out in space? And did they need Israel and that locale with the technology of CERN, which is what? CERN came out of the ancient ruins of the Babylonian Tower. Think about that. Think about that. So they needed that particular area where there's a gate, a portal into the sides of the north. I'm going to go into that. So they needed Israel strategically. Don't believe the hype claiming that it's some type of prophetic restoration of Jews and Israel's back into Israel according to the Bible. It has nothing to do with that. That's the cover. And that's the play on naive Christians who are willing to actually financially and spiritually help those who oppose the same Christ they serve. Okay? But going back to it, Israel's space agency. Look at this. What's this? A space agreement? Space. While people are fighting down here, they talking about getting off of this place because they know what's coming. They know who's coming. Space agreement signed for the first time between Israel and Azerbaijan. The Israel Space Agency. Folks, let me go back. The Israel Space Agency, under the auspices of the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. And here we go. Israel's Space Pharma launches groundbreaking medical experiment laboratory into space. And you want to talk about experiments in pharma? Well, we're going to talk about that a little later after I'm ending this, right? But how many of you actually knew out there, folks? Huh? How many out there knew that while they were distracting people on Earth, that Israel actually has a space agency working right now? And guess what? No one in the earth right now is actually talking about this. No one. See, while they got people looking one way, we are looking through the lens. That's right, the heavenly lens, using the Bible to see exactly what they're up to. Right? So they get you looking one way, but then you'll see they're doing something prophetic that they're trying to get all of the citizens of the earth's eyes or sights off of. Folks, the Bible is real. So I'm going to be talking about that and more in the Hebrew and Bible Academy this week. We're going into aliens, gods, that's right, UFOs, and the Bible. It's going to be taught like you've never understood it before. See, the world have to identify it as grays, aliens, and all that, so to not give it a negative connotation. But folks, I'm going to tell you right now, it's straight occultic. It's demonic. It's dark. And this is why they tried to put some lipstick on that pig with the E.T. movie that came out years ago. Was that Steven Spielberg? Think about that. Trying to give good PR to demons, good PR to the fallen gods they serve in secret. That and more. You want to be there. historytimes.org. Now, let's jump right into it. I got Lawya on standby, but let me first start off. I usually, set the table with what we'll be going into today. A matter of fact, we're going into Babylon's or America's final administration, actually, this evening. Hit the like button. Yes, yes, yes. Lord have mercy. Do we have a good broadcast that we've put together for you all today? So let's talk about it. Babylon's final administration. Years ago, when YouTube was in its infancy, I got on the streets of Philadelphia on the corner And I started highlighting this so-called black man, or who was running for president, who came out of nowhere by the name of Barack Obama. Kenyan ties. When you look at him, he's more so the Hamitic, Cushite, Ethiopian type of look, opposed to what we would call black Americans. But I'm going to tell you, when you're starving for any level of recognition and respect, as a people, you'll take anything. I was on the street saying, well, hold up. We need to look into this guy because the policy that they'll use through him can utterly destroy our people. Now, did I think that he was making the decisions? No. But he would be the perfect conduit. He would be the perfect face to utilize in an effort in destroying our people. Now, I need to look back since then, and I'm going to ask you, what have the world received? What have we received since celebrating the presidency of Barack Obama? We received what? Grown men being able to go into children's bathroom if they identify as a woman. Transgenderism, gay marriage, a serious moral decay in the earth like never before since the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah. The destruction of family, the birth rates came down on our people. The marriage rates came down on our people. Right? Sexual gene therapy for children. Think about that. Right? Story time with transgenders. The exaltation of women in our community over the men. What have we received since then? Folks, I told everyone when it first happened, and guess what? Every time we would get to 2,000 subscribers, they would delete the channel. And that was before YouTube had these serious guidelines we're witnessing today. They would never allow this channel, when I was speaking back then, to go past 2,000. It was like clockwork. They knew that I wasn't violating, that I was speaking truth. It was like clockwork. No soon as we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm talking about way back before Google purchased this and all that. And, they would just take down channels. I need y'all to think about that. And I was following the guidelines. And it wasn't because we know not to disrespect anyone. Okay? The Bible tells us, teaches us, as much lieth within you, be at peace with all men. Okay? We don't believe that any one people are a monolith. We're not running around talking about the white man is the devil and all this other stuff, because that's nonsense. We teach the Bible as it is written. And I believe when we set our sights on identifying the policy, the dangerous policy that this man could actually do against our people, guess what, folks? I honed in. I said, this is it. This man could lead to the administrations of a total decline of America, where all of the power will go back to who? The 10 horns. And you notice they didn't use someone, they didn't use a child of someone who went through chattel slavery. You notice that. the descendants like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, those who could relate to the struggle that would give one of us an opportunity one day to be president. If they were going to choose a leader for us, and that's right, they chose him, it wasn't going to be one of us. Hit that like button. I don't know if y'all remember that. And there was all these CIA ties when it comes to allegedly in connection to his mother and all these things. And his birth was shrouded in what? In straight mystery. Father from Kenya, unheard of, don't know where he is, right? Came out of Hawaii. People were questioning birth certificates and all that allegedly. But he was good enough for us. And I remember, brothers and sisters, like it was yesterday. I remember reading this scripture. Elder Lawya, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Shalom.
Shalom, Elder Lawya. How you doing?
I'm well, sir. How about yourself?
I went back down on memory lane a little bit, right?
Right.
I went back. I don't know if you remember some of those teachings back then.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Right? Barry
Yes, sir.
Satoro, right? And a lot of people didn't even know that even back then there was another name for him, his real name. That, well, I don't know whether or not it's real name because I don't know how they create these personalities, right? Barack Hussein Obama. Now, check out the Jedi mind trick there to have our people celebrate someone with the name Hussein, who years before that was deemed enemy of America under the Bush administration. Right? But Elder Lawya, I remember reading this like it was yesterday, right? And I'm going to go to the book of Daniel for the brothers and sisters real quick and highlight this, right? Now, there's many antichrists. So, like the Christian church, you're not supposed to be looking for one antichrist. You're supposed to be looking for the one Satan, the antichrist, would use to bring forth his policy. To bring forth his policy. And that's where the Christians are going off. They're still waiting for one guy to pop up when the one they would use to push his policy, they voted for. And Elder Lawya, back then, I must have struck a chord because just teaching the truth as it is written, politically, YouTube and others had a problem with what I was bringing forth, saying this guy isn't what they are presenting. And we are at the what? We have suffered to this degree to understand what their plan was the whole time, knowing that after the Bushes and all these others, our people we were no longer spiritually invested in the electoral process. We were done. But if we're done, which is the what? 80 to 90% voting block that keeps these sycophants in power, then the Democrat Party would have been done. So they had to what? Throw in what? Someone who we thought was our people. Right? Because we were fed up. And if we're not in the process, the whole thing collapsed. Right? So I remember reading this, Elder Lawya. I have a lot to go through, so we're going to jump right in. Elder Lawya, I remember reading this like it was yesterday. Right? right on the corners of 9th, near 8th and 9th and Market Streets, right? Check this out, right? Elder Lawya, I need you to go to, real quick, hold on, let me grab it here. Pull you in here. One moment. And first and foremost, I would like to say shalom and happy end of Purim to you, Elder Lawya. Bless you.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Happy Purim.
All right. Let's go to Daniel, Elder. I remember reading this, brothers and sisters, like it was yesterday. Elder Lawya, read 8 and 23 for me, please.
Yes, sir. The book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse number 23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
It says, and in the latter time of their kingdom, at the end of America's kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full. Look at all the transgression that came through his policy, folks. Transgenderism, right? All of this stuff. You name it. Gene therapy and all that for children. Right? Mental health thing went through the roof after this guy. Because what it says, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences, which means he would be of the occult. He would be a man who was raised from a child to bring forth Satan's political agendas on the earth. See, people waiting for one antichrist, folks. You got to look at prophecy. Read.
24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
But not by his own power. Satan's power. And he would use the energy that comes predominantly from God's people to catapult him into what? International acclaim before the world. He needed our spirit, the people who believed in God, Christ, the Bible, to spiritually drive him as a figure before the earth. And think about this, brothers and sisters. That's why he came out running through a black nationalist church first. He made us believe that he was for our God, our Christ. And there's Kenyan ties, allegedly CIA ties on his mother's side. He was raised under what? There's some connection allegedly with Marxist ideology. He was raised to do exactly what he did. Read.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Satan's.
And he shall destroy wonderfully.
And check out this, how the Bible eloquently put this. How do you destroy wonderfully? That means this guy, this spirit would destroy with perfection and be loved the whole time while destroying the same people who cared for him, the same people who idolized him. Read.
And shall destroy the mighty, it says here, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and holy people.
And he shall destroy the mighty and holy people. So in the end days, there would come someone up who, guess what, folks? The policy would be targeted against the bloodline children of Israel in the very end. His legislation and policy and those behind him would be seeking to use this man to destroy us, the lost tribes of Israel. And I remember saying this on the street when YouTube was at its infancy. Our people were totally enamored, as if they were under a spell. And I'm talking about preachers across religious lines. And I was looking at this. I said, you know what? These preachers are duped. They act like this guy is the second coming of Christ. I'm like, they didn't go into his background, his upbringing. They didn't go into, how he came on the scene. They didn't go into his attachments internationally to a man in Kenya, Hawaii, and all these others, these clandestine organization connections. Guess what? Him being black was good enough. Read 25.
25. And through his policy.
Hold up, Elder Lawya. Stop right there. Don't tell me politics doesn't matter. Because he would draft policy contrary to the word of God. As if in the White House or in their consuls, they have a Bible and stating, this is what God say don't do. This is what God say. This is what God forbids. And what we're going to do is draft law to convince God's people to do the very contrary to the word they claim to believe in. Think about that, folks. And through policy, what? A man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. And guess what? When that happened, the Pope was in the United States. He was in Philadelphia when it happened, as if there was some big ceremony in the spiritual realm to roll out Satan's program to destroy God's people. If you get our people to go immoral, folks, if you do this to our people, it's the end of the world. We're the only people by default who had some level of empathy, love towards Christ. Even though everyone have destroyed us, we still have forgiven people. We were the moral compass of the world until this guy showed up. We weren't perfect, but there was a balance. There was a balance. There was still believers in numbers amongst our people. And through policy, also he shall what?
Also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Come on.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Come on.
And by peace shall destroy many.
And by peace he shall destroy many. Read.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
But he shall be broken without hand. It's showing, ultimately, brothers and sisters, Satan. But he would use certain people or kings and others, folks. That's right, elected officials to bring forth policy that would indirectly harm us. Look at this. Look, hit that like button because we are going in. Now, you know there were ties, Elder Lawya, you brothers and sisters. He've always had ties with the Clintons, right? Now, when Hillary was running, Elder Lawya, they had a policy in place to actually open up the borders, right? And they was rolling it out. They were claiming and stating that we need a world without borders, right? During running up into the election. I'm going to show you this. What we're seeing now, they wanted to do back then. Also, there was some Epstein ties and all these others, Pizzagate, when it comes to questions concerning what's going on with these elected officials and children and all that. That was in the air. And magically, eventually, some of it went away, right? After Trump was no longer in office. Not to say Trump is guiltless. Let me make that clear. This is not to say that Trump doesn't have issues. I'm showing you politically what went down. Elder Lawya. That's
Yes,
right,
sir.
folks. Hit the like button. Babylon's final administration is what we're talking about. And we're starting back when we were first started teaching. The Gathering of Christ Church was just a few brothers on a corner teaching. And it's surreal. Everything the Most High showed us prophetically came after our people began to believe in this man who was connected to the Clintons and all these things. And I remember, Elder Lawya, when Hillary was running, she had a plan to open up the borders. It would have happened earlier, I believe, right? But anyway, I'm talking about the borders being open was part of the policies they were bringing forth. And I don't know if y'all remember this. She went on the Breakfast Club, fair use, to pander to our people, right? You had also Barack Obama on the campaign trail, right? Supporting Hillary against Trump, right? And they, she was trailing to some degree, or there was some issues because she thought after the connection with Obama that she would be way ahead of Trump in the polls. But I think at that time, our people started to figure out we were duped, right? That Barack was a figurehead utilized to indirectly destroy us and to demoralize our community, right? So it isn't that we were going to vote for Trump, but we definitely wasn't going to vote for anyone tied to him. At that time, our people were waking up. Sometimes we fall asleep, and then they find a way to stimulate us to go out and support them, right? As if they bank on knowing when they can stimulate us and when what? And when we fall asleep, they use what? They use race baiting or some type of event to get us back, what? To get us back into the electoral process. And remember, Elder Lawya, we were talking about reparations and things back then. I mean, a lot of our people were at least bringing it up. And this is what Hillary thought that she could, this is what she thought would convince our people to come out and vote. She went to the Breakfast Club. And check out this disrespect. Fair use.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information?
What is it? What is it? Elder Lawya, what is it you always carry with you? Angela Yee asked Hillary Clinton.
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Tell our people, just tell the people, what exactly do you carry in your pocketbook? Elder Lawya, she knew this would work. And you know that this conversation happens amongst her PR people to state the things that would charge and stimulate our people into endearing ourselves towards a political figure. They say, man, you got to mention that hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay, they give business grants. They give all types of stuff to the immigrants that come into the country. Businesses and all this, housing and all this. But what they have for us is the fact that she walks around with hot sauce. Okay? She didn't say, no, I got some cash in my pocket that's going to transfer to legislation to help these people. And you know what? She crashed and burned. Right? Now, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir.
Donald Trump wins. Check it out. Not to say we're for him. He has his own faults. But that was, during his 4 years, was the most profitable time for our people when it comes to business, upward mobility, as well as scaling financially, getting close to, not too far from, closing the gap between us and other people. Right? When you look at the statistics, we were doing better as a people under that administration than at any time in the history of America. And I'm talking about in mass, in number. What now? A little before the campaign began, that would lead to George Floyd, Biden, and all these things. Guess who pops up again? 7 years ago, Barack Obama. He moves back into Washington, D.C. while Trump was still president. And people were asking, what is he there for? Right? What were they cooking up? Right? To make sure that his policies that were destroying our people continues. Could it be, allegedly, possibly, that they were working to have someone in place who they knew had serious senility issues, cognitive issues, so that they can operate in the background to finish what they tried to do through Hillary? Just putting it out there. Look at this. Fair use. Fair use. This is only for educational purposes only. Okay? Fair use.
He's about to go from commander-in-chief to couch commander.
7 years ago.
What am I going to do in D.C. for 2 years?
This self-satirical video portrays Barack Obama searching for a new occupation. He tries different roles and hopes to at least get a driver's license. Obama has already chosen the house where his family will live after leaving the White House. After stepping down, he will move to a large mansion in a wealthy Washington neighborhood called Kalorama. The mansion has an estimated value of around $6 million. Obama will not buy it, but rent it instead, paying around $22,000 per month. Obama said he is staying in Washington so that his youngest daughter, Sasha, can remain in the school she has been attending. The Kalorama district is considered to be extremely prestigious and secure. The reason is simple. The area has the highest concentration of embassies and residences of ambassadors and other officials in Washington.
Fair
Local
use.
residents are used to the constant presence of police and Secret Service officers. Neighborhood historian Stephen Hansen says with the arrival of the Obama family, this area will become even more secure.
I think the neighbors might actually appreciate President Obama moving to the neighborhood. One of the stories right now is that through traffic to the street will be closed off and only available traffic access to residents. And security will be heightened, so they will not have to worry about.
So you get the gist of that, Elder Lawya. So in a nutshell, he already had a plan to stay in Washington, D.C. Right? So to make sure that the policies in place, that the powers that be could still utilize him to finish what he started. Right? So now he has a place. Right? In D.C. Eventually, he gets in power. Now, check it out, Elder Lawya. When I say he gets in power, everyone knew that if it wasn't for Melon Bollards, George Floyd, chaos on the streets, rioting, and all these things, everyone would have recognized that Biden wasn't present during that whole run-in to become president. They really rode him out on the campaign trail, seeking to do what? Seeking to cover the fact that something was going on with him when it comes to what? Some type of cognitive decline. So, but with all the smoke screens and all these others, people started just saying, this is how they voted for Biden. They voted for Biden with, I'm not voting for Biden. We're voting against Trump. See, let me tell you, the Obamas, the Clintons, all of them were all in the think tank of this, saying, well, okay, we don't have to have a candidate. Only thing we need to do is convince these people that Trump is the bad guy, and by default, we have someone in place with clear cognitive issues that we can now operate and spin through the media to bring forth policy as that's right, as Biden as the front man, with Biden as the front man, which is pull him in and out, but still the policies that I started, see, will continue. Right? So, Elder Lawya, this is how you know it's from the same script, right? Here it is. We're here again during an electoral cycle where our people are fed up again because we were lied to. They did nothing for us, right? Now, we're right on schedule, Elder Lawya. 1 second. We're right on schedule for them to start rolling out the usual suspects, right? The Van Joneses, the Killer Mikes, T.I., Charlemagne, etc., etc. We right on cue.
Right.
And this is why when the thing happened with the Grammys and they had Killer Mike going out in handcuffs, I'm like, here we go.
Right.
Here we go. This is how they spring their what? You got it. Their usual suspects back on the scene. As if he's against the administration. Right? So now it's this criminal justice thing. Look how they have cuffs on our people. All performative. Theater. A week before that, at the Grammys, right, before the Grammys, it's the Biden administration said they want to speak to what? They wanted to speak to the entertainment leaders of the black community. And then after that, Killer Mike comes out with handcuffs. What performances are they going into to trigger us into policy that would destroy ourselves? That would destroy our people. Think about this. If they really wanted our people to be engaged, and I don't care about what they're saying, I'm here. I'm here to actually sound the trumpet prophetically with what's going on. Because all in all, the Most High wants us to take our spirit out of an empire electoral system that have destroyed us. But if we were engaged, the only thing they would have to say is, we're going to give the brothers and sisters who built this country through chattel slavery, whether you call it foundational black Americans, whether you call it, the free men who have ties to the slave ships who were born here, a reparation package that exceeds everything they've ever given to Israel, everything they've ever given to the Ukraine. We're going to distribute it amongst these people to show that we have serious sorrow and remorse for the suffering of the same people who've built this country for nothing and have given everyone in the earth, even those who come to replace us, a head start. If they said that we promise we're going to give y'all even more, our people will jump right back in. Right? It's not about, but this is what they're going to try to tell us our issues are. They're going to try to tell us that they really need to ramp up criminal reform. That's an insult. We're not all criminals. So that's an insult. Voter suppression. They're going to say that we got to do something about voter suppression. Listen, we don't care about that. Our people vote when we want to vote, and Barack Obama was the proof of that. So we're not stomping for some voter suppression law or college debt relief. That's ridiculous because all of us didn't go to college. And it's the people, it's the hard workers, the blue collar people who didn't go to college, who, if they were to have college debt relief, it'll be the people who didn't go to college paying for the debt relief. But these are the things they're going to try to make us believe is for our people. Okay? And they know that our people are saying, nah, y'all going to have to break us off like Pharaoh broke off the Israelites coming out of Egypt. Reparations is really the only thing, the only policy our people are actually speaking about. The only. Because if you got money, you're not going to be a criminal. You're going to put it into business. Right? If you got money already, you don't have to worry about somebody coming in and doing something against you, because you don't have to worry about the law stepping in, because you got a financial wall to help you stave off the enemy. See? You can dictate scenarios. Then this is why they're not going to give it to you. But Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir.
So here's the playbook now, right? Here's the playbook. This just happened the other day, Elder Lawyer. And I need to blow this up. See, Hillary said, you know, I got hot sauce in the pocketbook. We got Biden and the press team in front of a chicken spot. In front of a chicken spot. I think this is in Louisiana or in the South. They got him walking into a black chicken spot, Elder Lawyer. You can't make this up. Check it out.
Meanwhile,
and one point there to go a little bit deeper, among black men, Trump actually wins by 3 points in this poll, 49 to 46.
Shocking. It's shocking.
Fair use.
First of all, overall, the Biden-Harris coalition could be called the Humpty Dumpty coalition right now, just falling apart.
Now, notice, Elder Lawyer, they're starting to burn their political connection to Biden. And I remember like it was yesterday, I said, they have him running with these cognitive issues with Kamala as the smokescreen. She was running more than he was to coax black women into believing that they should get behind her when she don't have nothing to do with black women. And I said, because normally no one would actually vote for Kamala. So that now, if something happens where eventually they'll burn Biden, they'll have Kamala there and have to match her with someone else. I said that. Why? You don't need to be a prophet to understand that. It's not in the Bible. These guys roll out the same plan every time, the same blueprint.
It's falling apart. The Latino vote on the ground, the youth vote on the ground, the black vote on the ground. This is not good. Now, there is a year to turn it around.
He say there is a year to turn it around. So here it is. This guy right here thinks our people are stupid. Okay? Watch this guy. He's very eloquent. He's talented. Okay? He usually sounds empathetic. He's dangerous. This guy is.
The black male, that's a stunner. Black women have been in the lead, but black men haven't been that far behind.
So how do you think we feel if they're stating on CNN black women have been in the lead? What other demographic of people have their woman in the lead and are brazen enough to brag about that on what? On mainstream media. How did that happen?
I think you've got a constituency that is losing hope and looking for change.
Now, he's going to say, he know we're looking for change, right? Speaking of black men, Judah, let's see the change he believes will get our people, black men, engaged.
A lot of the things that black men were voting for didn't happen yet. Nothing yet on voting rights.
Black men never said we wanted voting rights. Okay. Black men can vote. What are you talking about?
Nothing yet on police reform. No.
We don't care about police reform. With money, we can defend ourselves.
Nothing yet on criminal justice reform. So
we don't care about criminal justice reform because the majority of us aren't criminals. You see this, folks? So they use a black man to lie before the public, claiming that this is why black men are frustrated. Liars.
A lot of those issues that were important for black male voters haven't been.
No, that was never important for us. So now we know the talking points that what? That the entertainers and others are going to be utilizing and stomping for publicly to claim this is why black people aren't engaged. Get ready for it.
Addressed yet, and the economic pain is real.
Now, yeah, the economic pain is real, but you notice he's going to move fast off of that when that's really the biggest issue. Listen, look how fast he moved off of the financial piece.
So a lot of those issues that were important for black male voters haven't been addressed yet, and the economic pain is real. The last thing I'll say is
the economic pain was the only thing he needed to talk about. Reparations. See?
A lot of black male voters are non-college working folks. And some of
exactly
the stuff that is non-college working, that's working for white working class guys, can also work for black working class guys. But you can't just expect for black men to stand in long lines or black women to stand in long lines, get nothing done on policy specifically to them, and then stay in this coalition.
All right. Okay. What you got here, y'all? You got Biden with a brother eating some fried chicken. You can't make this up. Folks, you can't make this up. Now, I have a question I'm going to ask you all in a moment, right? I got a question I'm going to ask you all in a moment. But before we go there, I need y'all to check out what's going on here. You can't make this up. Do they think we're stupid? Do they think our people are stupid? And I have a question. I want y'all to answer this in a moment. Right? But Elder Lawya, let me Biden's response to special counsel hurt or help him? Folks, there's a special counsel that stated that what? They found some top secret, what you would call government information that wasn't supposed to be taken out of the White House. Right? classified information was found in Biden's home. Now, this is what they were coming after Trump about, right? A special counsel with a doctor determined that he's an old man in cognitive decline. And this is why no charges were levied against Biden, because they said that his mental capacity wasn't there. Therefore, they can't say for sure he knew what he was doing with these classified documents in his home. Well, if you're stating that, are you stating that he isn't mentally sound enough to run the country? Think about that. And now, if these classified details, international details, were found in his home, and then we heard about years ago Obama's moving in to D.C., I mean, if you were to thread the needle, some would assume that other people were actually running things with him bringing stuff to his home outside of the view of the White House. Right? Just put it out there. Fair use.
To have dug him a bigger hole, and the White House counsel was sent out the next day trying to clean it all up. What does it say about the president's ability to hold on to his incumbency? Joining me now, somebody with pretty unique insights on all of this, former senior advisor to President Obama, David Axelrod, who, of course, is a CNN senior political commentator. David, great to see you. The special counsel comments, they would not have landed. They would not have landed with.
So CNN and all the international news is already burning Biden as a possible candidate, intimating that it would be best for the party if he stepped down. I'm going to show you where we're going at, folks. Let me put this at 351. I wonder, Elder Lawya, what, better yet, who is the solution?
Right.
Right? Because they already began to burn Biden, right? They already started burning him. I told y'all years ago, this is what's about to happen, right? Listen.
Look at who Vegas odds makers are saying have the best chances of being elected this fall.
Vegas odds makers saying these are the candidates who have the greatest chance of being elected this fall. Donald Trump.
Trump is a 5 to 6 shot. It's better than even. Biden 15 to 8, a little better than 2 to 1.
Next is who? You can't make this up. Folks, the material writes itself. Now, just imagine, Elder Lawya, if he drops out, he bow out for, for the party, Biden, for reasons of retiring with his family, leaving Kamala, and to either move her out of the way altogether or have her on the ticket as a vice president to Michelle Obama, leaving Barack Obama in power. Look at this. I told y'all. They're already putting the spin out there. They seeding people with it. Huh? Didn't I tell you? See? Didn't I tell you? Elder Lawya, what better way to get our sisters energized? Right? Through symbolism.
Right.
And I believe that's the most threatening thing for our people, is that we have within our people those who will deal with things from an emotional standpoint. Symbolism is good enough. Even though they're stomping our people in the ground, our sisters are coming up missing under these policies. And on top of that, folks, sisters are being put out of their houses. I need y'all to think about that right now. They're getting put out of their houses. All of their money is going to immigrants and all of that, folks. And we thought that the man, Barack Obama, years ago was going to be the one to solve the financial problem in our community. The disparity of what? There's a gap because the whole world got a head start, especially after our people served 200-300 years without being paid nothing. We thought Barack Obama and Michelle would understand that and got a big fat donut. A matter of fact, we got exactly what Daniel said we would get, an attack against the holy people. Huh? So I have a question, Elder Lawya. I need you to get the scriptures, and then we're going to open this up for the people because I'll have to hear from them now. I must hear from them now, right? Elder Lawya, let's get Isaiah 30, please. And how long?
Yes, sir.
Let's get Isaiah first. Hold on. I have a question I'm going to pose. Isaiah 30, verse 12.
Yes, sir.
Let's read it.
Isaiah 30, verse number 12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon.
It says, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, the God of this Bible, the God who sent Christ. Because our people despise the word and trust in oppression. We'll despise the word which puts us under the Most High's hedge, his grace, who gives us wisdom to navigate through this world. We'll despise his word, the Bible, and we'll rather trust in those who've oppressed us. And what perverseness. Why do you think, folks, during the voting process of the last, well, not the voting process, during the vaccination rollout, that they had Saucy Santana and Trina singing, what was it? It said, no voting. No what?
Yeah, I think that's just about as much as we can say. They can fill in the rest.
Yeah, but it was straight perversion. What is it in us that they thought that would actually entice us to actually go out to get the medication? No voting. No, I can't even. This is a family show. And what is it in us that they thought that they can get us out by the guy vax that thing up? Right? It's because we trust in oppression, and they can actually lead us through carnal lust, through sex. They know this. So since we trust in oppression, our oppressors,
and stay thereon,
read.
Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant. Since we won't change, since we continually to trusting in the same satanic cabal who have destroyed us, the Most High said, you know what? The breaking will come instantly. You rather trust those who are destroying you instead of leaning on the God who made us. So I have a question, Elder Lawya. And a matter of fact, let the Most High ask the question first. Let's get the scripture you have, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. The book of Proverbs 1:22.
Okay, let me grab that also so they can see that. Hold on. Proverbs, chapter and verse?
1:22.
Proverbs 1, verse 22. Read it.
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
Read it again.
How long will ye simple ones love simplicity?
How long will our people love to be simple? We're the only people on earth who use the power of voting, okay, through emotion, for emotional gratification, or for some level of symbolism. Everyone else in the world use voting to financially aggrandize their group, to financially help themselves. We're the only people on earth who vote with emotions when we're triggered. So if I'm the other nations, I'll just make sure I get amongst you, since you are the greatest voting bloc amongst the Democrats, and I'll trigger you against someone else so that I can use your power to enrich my people. That's why you have your black and brown coalition, the Kamalas, who's really her mother and all that, East Indian. So only thing I have to do is trigger you with racial politics and say that this guy is racist and that guy is racist, only to trigger you. Oh, yeah, somebody got shot. We need to do something about the police, to get you triggered to use the power of your vote to financially aggrandize my people. I just got to trigger you. We're the only people who vote through emotions. And that's why the Bible says, how long will you simple ones love simplicity? How long will we stay simple? Read.
And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
And fools hate knowledge. Who would actually do something? Who would use the strength of voting? And think about this. I hear this all the time, Elder Lawya. Oh, yeah, our people died for the right to vote. Well, just look at it from that angle. If we went through all that to vote, why waste it on emotion and not get anything out of it?
Exactly.
If you're going to tell me our forefathers were sprayed with water hose, was hung and all that for the right to do this, why do it so that others could benefit?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. The Chinese, and they got a whole country, folks. They can come over here and they get more than you as a minority. And they have a whole country. India has a whole country with their people. They didn't build this country. They came in on the backs of what? Civil rights, where our people suffered. And they get more than you. Barack Obama, he was able to leapfrog the people who was born here to become the face to represent blackness in America, when his people was from Kenya somewhere, as we think. He was raised by other people. He wasn't raised by black people with Marxist, allegedly, ideology. So here's a question. What have we learned? Since the time we began to teach, going all around this world, baptizing, setting up churches on the corner with no idea of what the Most High would do through this word. But I remember resoundingly a teaching, Daniel's the 8th chapter, saying the policy of this right here will start with this man, Barack Obama, that destroys the holy people. I remember that teaching like it was yesterday. Since then, what have we learned? What have we learned in the last few years? If anything, is the question. See, I'm going to keep it simple. So to provoke thought, conversation. Because the enemy will continue to do the same thing over and over again as long as it works. So the change must happen in us. When Van Jones was talking about change, people shouldn't be waiting for a change. We're supposed to be the change.
Right.
Something has to change. We have to change. So here's the question. Oh yeah, we have a powerful broadcast off the back of Purim tonight. Let's talk about it. What have we learned in the last few years, if anything? Do you have anything, Elder Lawya, to say before I open up the calls?
No, sir.
So I'm going to ask that question, and I'll put it out there. And happy Purim to our brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Like I said, I'm not at all, folks, trying to hear anything these so-called politicians have to say anymore. They've been using our people, abusing our people, and our people just let them. So I just need to know, is it going to be just the same old status quo? Are they going to find the magic ingredients to get our people out there again to vote, to actually participate in a process to destroy themselves? That's a question. Now, I have another video I'm going to show in a couple of moments, because this same administration, the political machine, was behind coming into our communities, getting us to take the stuff. And now looking back, us taking the stuff has conveniently made room for the replacements. Our people are sick, falling dead. You have a lot of people, I'm seeing sisters having miscarriages now. Cognitive issues, mental illness issues arising out of nowhere. Could it all be attached to that decision? That's just a question. 515-605-9327. I'm going to just call in Elder Lawya real quick, all right? You don't have to go off.
Yes, sir.
Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Unmuted.
All right. Thank you, Elder Rawchaa, for holding serve. If you come in, please check in with Elder Rawchaa so I can see a name on the dashboard. It makes it simpler to actually have a name going into each phone call, okay? And again, for the Academy, we will be talking about aliens, right? We're going to be talking about the gods, the fallen angels, UFOs, and the Bible this coming Sunday. And we will also be going into why Israel and America has a space force. What are they doing out there this coming Sunday? All right. 661. A matter of fact, let's start with Kaim, 470 area code. Shalom, Kaim.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom.
Yes,
how are you
sir.
doing?
How are you?
I'm blessed by the best.
Pretty
How are
good,
you, sir?
Yes, sir. Hey, Elder, you said this 9-10 years ago. You said the people is not going to get it until they take everything away, and then the chosen are going to have to seek the Most High higher. So I was watching the video, Elder, and you was hitting every point. So what I've learned, based on your question, what I've learned, Elder, is to put my faith in the Most High by way of Yeshaya and our Heavenly Mother, the Holy Spirit. And Elder, it's like people are just getting more and more angry, and you see just people that's supposed to look normal are just stealing and doing harsh things. And our people are just the hearts of our people are wax cold. But if they open their ears and free themselves from Satan's system, they will be able to hear Yeshua and know the whole matter.
Let me ask you the question though. Let's start off by answering the question. I'd rather you come in and answer the question, and then roll off your thoughts. Even though your thoughts are poignant, I appreciate it, my brother. Let me ask you the question: what have we learned in the last few years, if anything? What do you think with that? Have our people learned anything yet?
Yes, sir. I think our people haven't learned yet because we keep falling for what they say, the banana in the tailpipe. It's like the same routine. They use certain things to trigger our emotions, like you said. You know, our emotions are our worst enemies because the thing is we have emotions for others, but we don't have emotions for our own. And we're willing to fight and ask about others instead of realizing that we have our own, and we have things set up to make us better within ourselves. Like Deuteronomy 28:1 said, that we must hearken. And if we don't, Deuteronomy 28:15. So, Elder, that's what it is that, you know, we haven't learned nothing. You know, but it's like you said, it's a short remnant that are hearing the call. And it's prophesied. So, and hopefully this, I know, Elder, what the church is doing is going to resonate and wake up more and more people.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you this before you go, because I believe they're going to bring in Michelle Obama, and she's going to go into the racist history of our people, of how the racists have always destroyed our people. And it's time for us to stand up as a people, as black people. And Trump represents everything our people have struggled to rise above. I mean, I could write the script for if you want. This is what she's going to be using. Michelle Obama being a black woman speaking to black women's issues, right? And on top of that, she's going to be going into racism, race baiting. Hey, somebody hold this, clip it, understand? I said it first, okay? This is where it's going. Thank you, my brother. So,
yes, sir, Duarte.
All right, my brother. All right, let me place you on hold. Great call. Great call. We have 347 area code. That would be, who, Stephen? Shalom.
All right.
Yes, Stephen?
Six.
And you know what? What's funny is you're going to continually hear them talk around reparations, right? Reparations. Oh, brother, hold up. I got to put you on hold.
How we doing?
Okay, Stephen, when I bring you in, there cannot be anything playing in the back. Let me tell you, they all know the only way to really solve issues with our people in America, I'm talking about the descendants of slaves, those who came off slave ships, is reparations in the form of cash payments, not in the form of some cards, not in the form of some other legislation like bridges and all these other things, which is actually what? Functions of government. They're going to try to say reparations is putting money into recreation centers. No. Reparations is cash payments. what you're doing to Israel after World War I and World War II, after the Holocaust, that's reparations. Okay? What you're giving the Ukraine, that's reparations. Cash money in pockets and let people decide what they're going to do with it. That's reparations. So they try to talk around this, folks, as if they don't know what the key issue is for our people. The number one scenario that our people are stopping for, not criminal reform, not debt relief for colleges, none of that crap, not voter suppression. Reparations is the only thing on the table. Cash payments. Okay? That's the only thing on the table for our people. If you're going to offer something, if you ain't offering that, you're offering nothing. Okay? You got illegal immigrants coming into the country from China and all these other places and getting a car at $1,000 a month for food, while our people on the street suffering who built the country. Don't let them race bait you, folks. I'm bringing you back in, Stephen. Hopefully nothing is playing in the background. Yes, Stephen.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. Yeah. I posed the question, what have our people learned, if anything, within the last few years? You have anything to say on that? And of course, anything you like to say, I'm open to hear.
Well, as you stated before, sir, that only a few of us have come into this understanding or knowledge. And unfortunately, most of our people are still living in the world and going by the way of the world. So anything that sway them that they throw out there to sway them to do their bidding or to follow their guidelines, our people are unfortunately falling for it by droves.
I got one question to ask you. I got one question to ask you real quick. I'm going to let you go on. But let me answer this. Someone says here, I stopped looking for reparations. Listen, I'm looking for what the Bible said gives, right? I'm not even looking for reparations, right? But the whole deal is, the insult out there is knowing what the issues are that our people are bringing up, to know what we're saying in number when it comes to policy, yet they ignore it. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm not waiting for it either. But what I'm saying is they're claiming they're offering something, but will ignore what they give everyone else, ignoring what the people are saying they want. And the example, look, brother, and the example is what they give to other people. That's the problem. You can't say it's going to be a problem giving it to the people who built the country and then give it to strangers in other countries who had nothing to do with paying into the country. So that's the insult that they're doing. Hold up, let me show this real quick. Here's the insult. Hold up, brother. Hold on, brother. I have to show this. Here's the insult right here. And I showed this last night. Here's the insult. That's the insult right there. January 15th, 2024, this year, reparation bonds could unlock $300 billion for Ukraine. How can they get reparations from the United States? That's the insult right there. So don't claim you can't do it. So brothers and sisters, do I expect it? No. But what I'm saying is they know what reparations are. They know what our people are asking for. And they get these pundits, these puppets to get on CNN and all that to talk around it. That's the issue. And this is what God says. And if they did give reparations, that would be the right thing to do. Ezekiel 33:15 said, if the wicked restore the pledge, give again that he had robbed, walk in the statutes of life, he would live. That means to restore or indemnify the people you use to build this empire, folks. So no, we can't expect nothing but the norm. I know we can't expect anything because they measure their greatness through our poverty. But the question is, are our people recognizing this? And will they get on code? I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Straight disrespect, but go on. I'm sorry.
As I was saying that it matters not what they offer, because they will never really give us reparation.
Exactly.
It's like they dangle a carrot out there in front of you just for it to be snatched back.
Yeah.
But this knowledge of that they would never give us reparation was really publicly clear when the situation that happened with Ice Cube, where he was looking politically for them to have some type of reparation given back to our people.
Yeah.
And everybody was like pushing him to a side or making him to be as a joke.
Yeah. So again, have we learned anything? Or you think our people are going to fall for the same thing again? Do you think, brother, and be honest, right? Unfortunately,
yes. I think they're gonna fall for the okie doke. They're gonna see a black woman, especially I hate to say it, especially our sisters. They're gonna see this and they're gonna think women empowerment, and they finally go to get their leg up and get their acknowledgement, and they're gonna fall for the whole thing.
Yeah. And you know there's debt forgiveness they already have on the books for high earners, those of Yale and Harvard and all that, right?
Yeah.
You know they already have debt forgiveness that they should have given to our people. That's for the rich. College, they've been actually relieving college debt for rich people. You can't make this up. Now, brother, real quick. Right now, I'm seeing Biden right here. And it's a nice house. A brother, you could tell the brother is he's educated. He's in the house of a brother who's educated, who's doing pretty good. And, you know, he's there. We got the chicken. Biden is there with some chicken to eat chicken with our people. Right? What do you think about, hold up. He's going in now to get some chickens. You think that's enough?
Yeah.
You think that's enough to get our people out there? or is this straight disrespect? How many times do they go to the Chinese and say, you know what? I'm going to go get some egg foo young for your vote. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to get some beef yak. Right? Come vote. You think the Chinese will look at him like he crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to get me some shrimp fried rice. Right?
Let me ask you this.
I mean,
do you think our people are beyond the knowledge of knowing when they're being insulted?
You know what, brother? I need you to pose the question again. That's a good question. Pose it.
Do our people have lost the knowledge of knowing when you're being insulted?
I don't even think our people know when we're being insulted. It's like,
wow.
Listen, brother, let me tell you. There should have been some brothers standing out there and saying, listen, all due respect, that brother who owned that business should have shut the window. Like, my people are suffering in this country, and you're going to what? You're going to pander by getting some fried chicken? I mean, a matter of fact, hold up. Don't just patronize me. I, I got a brother up the street selling watermelons. Let's not stop here. Okay, don't stop with the chicken. I got a brother right around the corner that has some watermelons. Let's get this whole thing, this whole stereotypical insult. Let's get it working. Thank you, my brother. Good question.
Pardon me, Elder.
Yeah, go ahead. You have the last
Pardon
word.
me, Elder. But do you remember the old cartoons where they have people depicted with big lips and eating watermelon and chasing down fried chicken and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Is it possible that our people have forgotten this history?
Brother, I think the fact that we're being recognized at all is good enough for our people, unfortunately.
Wow.
The fact they're talking about us. The fact that this guy would and he was slow getting into his house. They need to really help this guy. But the fact that he's willing to grace us with his presence is good enough for our people. He can't go to the Chinese with this. He can't go, let me tell you, he can't even go to the immigrants with this. The immigrants are saying, listen, this food in this lofty hotel isn't good enough because it's not our cultural food. Give us some money so that we can eat our types of cuisines and put it on the card and do it now.
Excuse me, Elder. And if they don't, then they're going to beat the police down for it.
Hey, brother. I don't
Democrats
think
fool you. You guys remember Hillary Clinton, the hot sauce in my bag, hot sauce in my purse
hot
comment?
sauce in the bag. Now, hold up now. That's a brother, but this brother is doing pretty good. Why didn't he go into the hood where our people are suffering at? This guy, he got a debt relief of $100,000, but he makes real good money. So this is also representing that they're already doing debt relief for those who have money already. So this is how they think they're going to get black people out to vote, the black male. No. Okay, you give the people their money, reparations, and they'll pay for their own debt. How's that? Huh?
Indeed.
And look, since Biden started, because he went to the same place he campaigned before, the package was $5.99 before he was president. And now the same package, the same bucket now is $7.69. So this guy is causing the community more money. Right? The prices went up 28% since this guy became president. At the same chicken spot. Folks, these jokes write themselves. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. All right. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. Get ready for Michelle.
If you don't mind, real quick, Elder, before you go to the next call, I would like to partially answer the brother's question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I believe his question was, are our people too blind to see and recognize that this is an insult? And I personally believe that there's a remnant of our people who are blessed because their eyes can see and their ears can hear exactly what's being done. And they can see through this. They can read through this and see exactly what this is. Okay? As you mentioned earlier, it's all performative.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do believe that there is a portion of our people who love simplicity, who sit there and they see Biden eating fried chicken with a black man. They see Hillary Clinton saying that she carries around hot sauce. They see Kamala Harris saying that she loves collard greens. They see her wearing Chuck Taylors and Timberland boots. And they see the politicians at the Jay-Z concert or Beyonce concert or a Lil Wayne concert and believe that their heart is with us. The reality is this. Christ said, where your treasure is, there shall your heart be also. So, for example, we know that their heart is with Ukraine. Why? Because they have sent treasure to Ukraine. They have sent money to Ukraine by the billions. We know that their heart is with Israel. How? Because they have sent money to Israel. We know that their heart is with some of the people that they're letting into the country. Why? Because they are investing and putting money into the people that are coming into the country. When it comes to us, we get a performance. We get fried chicken. We get Timberland boots. I love collard greens. I love hot sauce, so on and so forth. Showing you that their heart is not with us. They have no compassion for what we're going through in this country. And therefore, as you mentioned, I personally do not believe that they will give us anything. But I close with that.
But I'm glad you're using these scriptures, because some people are saying what? Well, it's the Bible. Are we supposed to be expecting anything under certain circumstances, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible speaks of what? The Israelites left Egypt with much substance.
Right.
Okay. And when Christ said, a good example, where your heart is, your treasures will be also. You put money into things, your heart, in the things you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really believe, or you are really sorry for what you've done to our people in this country, you would give reparations. But like you said, Elder Lawya, they're showing where their heart is. Ukraine, Israel, Chinese, immigrants.
Mm.
And the disrespect, Elder. At one time, The Breakfast Club was what? The most watched radio show for the young demographic in the world, not just the country. Right?
Right.
That's how popular The Breakfast Club was. And when they campaigned, it had an opportunity to speak to our people, to say, finally, what is it that they have about them that relate them to the plight of our people? Hillary came with the answer. You want to hear it?
No more questions? They said no, she has to go.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting information right now?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in my bag, swag?
Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now listen, I
yes.
just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Y'all see that?
Mm.
Hot sauce. Then she asked, is it working? Is it working? And now he's in front of a chicken spot. You can't. Let's go to the next call, please. All right. 661 area code. This is Shade. Shade has a comment.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, Shade. Where you from?
Oh, I'm from California, from Bakersfield, California.
Nice speaking with you. You think our people learned anything within the last few years since being duped and taken advantage of? Have they learned anything? And if so, you don't think so?
No, brother. We have not learned as a people, and just like the other caller said before me, it seems like we're okay with being patronized or being made fun of. And the way I see it is, a lot of people, our people are settling, and the problem is because they depend on this government to save them out of something that they can't. We have to come together, and the only thing, like you said, brother, the only thing that should be on the table is reparations. And if they're not talking reparations, we're not in that race, and we need to remove ourselves out of that and quit fooling ourselves like they're going to do something for us, because they're not.
Okay, so just say hypothetically, they bring in Michelle Obama. Then what?
Mm-hmm.
You think that'll be sweet? You think
Well,
that?
the thing is,
you think that's the pot they'll sweeten to actually get our people, to fall in line?
Well,
and guess what?
brother,
I'm not. Guess what?
Listen.
These are the words that some of them have actually used, like Roland and others, that our people just need to fall in line. Right.
Yes,
so I'm not just saying this is the rhetoric they use against us and no other people when it comes to voting. But I digress. Go on.
Yes. It's the same recipe. And you know as well as I do, during COVID, you've seen all those people wearing their masks, following the CDC and doing all these things. And now the CDC had to backtrack on that because they sold everybody that pill, but especially it always, and I've heard you say many times, brother, right? Anything that affects the population definitely affects us more than others. So we got to be very cognitive and be very mindful and protecting our home, especially when it comes to politics like this. And we've seen everything that came through Obama and all the laws that were passed. None of it supported the black community. And that, so just looking at it historically, even if people don't honor the Sabbath, right? Those that are out of the Christian church, just looking at it just from the plain view, looking at it historically, they should know that this is a game that they always play. And then bringing in Michelle Obama is gonna sweeten up the pot, and you're gonna have the women that are gonna get on board and they're gonna run this whole race thing, and all that does is make the other races despise us even more. So yeah, this is a dangerous game they're playing.
Yeah, hey, but I'm doing what I can to wake our people up and let them know there's only one side to stand on, as far as the Most High says. Only one side to stand on to win overall. And that's why I'm putting it out there, because this is a challenge to our people who may fall on this and want to know, well, what does these people teaching the Bible have to do with politics? The Bible stated through policy they would destroy the holy people. So if you don't understand the political component in this, this is what's going to make you continue to fall for your own destruction and participating in an electoral process that have never benefited you. Thank you, my brother.
Yes.
And if you're going to participate,
can I say one more thing?
Yeah, you're going. If you're going to participate, you got to hold their what? You got to hold them to the fire. You got to hold their hand to the fire until they do what you want them to do. That's what everyone else does politically. But go on, I'm listening to you. You have the last word.
I just wanted to say, my one of my middle sons, I got 5 boys and 1 daughter, and my middle son is 14. So I came across the Gathering Christ Church about 8 years ago now.
Okay.
And I was happening to doing some research because some brothers that came to my house, Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff, would come to my house, and they're always, how they do things. So I was researching some stuff, and I had already come to that conclusion. Like, listen, I had ran into a hard time in my life, and I was making some changes. And I said, Lord, just show me something that I need, to bring a foundation to my home, bring my home back together. So I always dated with my son 8 years ago, and I heard you guys. I ran into you. At first, I ran into a brother by the name of Rawchaa, I believe that was his name.
Okay.
Which ran me into the Gathering of Christ Church, man. And ever since then, I've been logging in. I've been tuning in. I've been in some of the classes as well, and I've learned a lot.
Thank you.
And just know, brother, that the work that you guys are doing is reaching. Trust me, it's reaching out here.
Thank you.
And
to the Most High.
And thank God for you guys that you guys are doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, brother. And one day, hopefully, you and your brothers, you and your sons will be aligned with the men of the Most High to continue to do for others what we've done through Christ for you. So this extends well beyond ourselves. And I'm sure you've done many works since learning this that have benefited others. And, brother, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes.
All
yes,
right?
I have. I appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Bless
Amen. Yeah. God bless.
Oh, yeah, and they may roll out some symbolism, right? It's enough they tried to get us with this, with Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama and Michelle. They're going to try to roll her out. Keep your eyes on that, right? But then they tried to, under Biden, yeah, we're going to give you we're going to give a black woman symbolism, a seat on the Supreme Court. Ketanji Jackson. And you notice they use it, listen, a married surgeon, right? Harvard University, right? She couldn't even answer the question, what is a woman? Folks, she's a woman. And see, you can't really look at her to why they've put her in position as a symbol. You got to look at the politics behind him, her husband, and understand who's really running things when they put a black woman in position. They're not running anything. Kamala, mother East Indian. She identifies as East Indian or Asian when it's convenient. See? When it's convenient. Yeah, that's her husband. Now, I believe he's Jewish or whatever the case is. Okay. But you have to look into the politics behind this guy to understand what's really going. They just used her to get black women emotionally engaged. But you got to look at the politics behind this guy. Folks, I looked into all of this, folks. It's scary. So I'm going to still pose the same questions. I'm going to go down the line now. Have we learned anything? Is symbolism enough? Right? Now, Michelle Obama would be the ace in the hole that would keep Obama in that position. And look at what's going on in the earth right now. Look what's going on in the earth right now, and you see what their policies are all about. Thank you. Can you take these? I appreciate it. All right. All right, let's go down the line. I think we have a sister here, Pamela. How you doing?
Yes, Shalom.
Shalom.
Hello.
How you doing, Pamela?
I am wonderful. And I am so shocked that I got in. I just joined the class this year. I'm Dream Team. I tried to Zoom you guys the first time, but it didn't go well.
But
I have learned.
We'll have another opportunity for that. We'll have another opportunity for that. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
But go on.
I was studying, well, I've been studying a while, a long time, since 89, but I was studying with someone, was going chapter by chapter and verse by verse.
Yeah.
I don't want to say any names because I know I'm live, but some of the things that he said, you said the same thing, but it really came to life when you taught it to me, because I knew it had to be something else to it.
Some of the things,
especially the part about Isaiah.
You said some of the things who said.
Well, I used to study with the Shepherd Chapel.
Okay.
Chapter by chapter and verse by verse.
Okay.
I started with him in like 89.
Okay.
And I took a leap of faith.
Good.
I sold everything in Michigan. I came to South Carolina.
Okay.
And I had a journey. First, I had to get the bus, go out the car, the bus, and then the train to get here.
All right.
So, some of the things that you're saying, it really brought it all to life for me and my sisters. Eventually, I got two of my sisters to move with me, but everyone else is like in Michigan.
Yeah, but
my journey here.
But for the sake of, because I got to quantify all these phone calls, and I'm sure we'll get enough time to talk about everything. I really want to get into what have we learned? Have our people learned anything? And for the last few years, and
yes,
after seeing all of what they've done to deceive us, you think our people is going to fall for this political con game and disrespect going forward by ignoring what's really going on with our people, but still attempting to get the vote?
I think that they're not going to fall for it. You know, everybody is not getting it, and we have to understand that. As far as, you know, patience and listening and learning, all of us is not going to get it. So we just have to face that fact. And I heard somebody say something about what I think is we're not going to get anything here. I think our prize is not until all this is over. It's just not happening because we done tried so many ways, so many times. Reparation, no, I think our reparation is with a higher when this is all done and said.
Okay,
because we didn't try.
Yeah, but that's a given. But let me drop something on you, sister, to why I pose these questions and actually go into these lessons, right?
Okay.
Christ, when he went before when he started converting or bringing in his disciples who would actually lay the foundation in this earth concerning his ministry after Christ's death. Hold on. I'm place you on hold, sister, because there's too much noise in the background. It's fine. And thank you again. Christ says, put your nets down and follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men. We have many people who don't even believe in the Bible and trust in the political process, and they hope in the process, and they may fall on our lessons, right? To where the Bible can quantify it all for them so that they can make an educated, spiritual decision in life in general. So that's why it's diverse. We don't just get up in front of a camera and begin to just open up the Bible and teach topics. Because a fisher knows that he's casting into what? A wide sea. And you need different bait. And some bait, you may have a weight that goes all the way down to get the fish you would like to get, or some it floats to the top because there's a certain type of fish you're trying to get. And our people are so diverse, right? They're so diverse within this system with different walks of life, beliefs, ideologies, or what have you, right? So when I come out to teach and I talk about reparations, not to say that we're going to get them. They're supposed to give them to us if they're giving it to everyone else. It's so to put it out there so that our people can start looking into things differently, right? So that they can say, well, hold up. These brothers here do have a point. You can't say that there's no money when the money's going everywhere else, but you always giving us pandering, symbolism, or trying to get us to vote based on some racial thing that the liberal media is promoting. It's to spark something in them that they never would have even thought about. And even through the voting process, we're leading them into the Bible's God's resolve. And then they'll begin to appreciate the Bible even more by saying, man, I didn't know that there was policy in the Bible that was aimed towards destroying our people. Could we be the people? Right? So listen, I expect what I've always expected from those who are under what? The veil of darkness, following the world. But when we teach, we are fishers. All right? 414 area code.
Yes, Vanessa.
How you doing, Vanessa? Where you from?
God bless you. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I just reside over to San Juan.
Okay.
San Jose, California, with my daughter now.
Okay.
I'm calling in regards to your remark what you have been talking about.
Okay.
God has a remnant that's going forward right now. He's restoring the land.
Do me a favor, sister.
We
Can
need
you,
to read Ezekiel
Hey,
34.
Sister, can you turn off the background? What's going on in the background?
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay.
Okay, sister. Now, when
need to read
we the teachers here. I'm asking you, when you say that he's in restoration, restoring who? To where?
His people where they need to be.
When you say restoration, give me an example of what that is.
Restoration is given to people what they lost.
Okay.
From the devil stealing like they doing today.
I'm
God
saying,
is
but
in
sister,
charge
that's
of everything that's going on.
I'm saying, what is restoration to you?
God restoring to us what we supposed to have.
Like what?
To begin with, because he's in charge. They're supposed to get away from God and his word, and they did that.
Okay,
he gave
sister,
us Exodus 20. Keep the commandments.
I apologize, Vanessa. There's too much in the background, okay? I'm going to place you on hold. Go into a
I know,
quiet
I'm
room.
trying to
Don't worry about it. Go into a private room. I'm going to bring you back. All right? See, that's why I like to quantify things when I hear certain things, right? And that's why it says, know when you ought to be teachers, right? Restoration, what does that mean? How do you quantify that and bring resolve to people who are listening? Okay? And that's why sometimes it's best to come in and learn and understand how to view those scriptures, okay? But I believe, I understand where you were trying to come from, but this is a what? An edifying platform. If we use the Bible, we must edify so that all could understand, all right? So I'm going to put you on hold in a moment. Please, if you're going to come in, brothers and sisters, make sure you're in a quiet environment. It makes for bad radio, okay? Bad broadcasting if there's much activity going on behind you, okay? We got to have a level of, decorum around here when it comes to, edifying, right? And respect for the platform so that, the people are actually, hearing and begin to build through dialogue. And it can't happen if chaos is in the background. Please help me. 510 area code. Shanice has a comment.
Yes. Hi. Shalom.
Shalom, sister.
Yes, I want to comment in regards to the reparations.
Okay.
Many people, the reparations. I think, I've been studying and researching. These people really don't have the resources to give back to us or redirect to us because we are the resources. We really should be working on getting people out of these offices so that the resources and the land is redirected towards us.
Okay, hold up. I'm going to let you continue. But I have to answer to something before you pivot. Right?
Yes, sir.
Let me go to Reuters, mainstream media, where it stated, breaking news, reparation bonds could unlock $300 billion for Ukraine. Now I'm going to ask you a question, right? And I'm going to flip it real quick. If there was something that the Ukrainians were looking for that can benefit them, do you believe that they would get on any public platform or any place and say, well, I know America and other countries are printing money, right? But we don't believe that the money should go to us. Do you think the Ukrainians would say that? And if not, why?
I don't think they would say that.
Why?
I don't. The reason is I think a lot of people are pretty much uneducated about who we are as a people.
Sister, I understand, but I need you to answer the question. Why wouldn't the Ukrainians, if they knew something could benefit them, even if some of them were quiet and others, like their representatives, were speaking, why do you think they wouldn't come out publicly and say, I don't think that money can actually get to us? Why do you think the people that it would benefit would stay silent?
Why do you think the people, say that again? Why do you think the people would benefit?
I'm going to frame this. Ukrainians, regular Ukrainian citizens, they got some people before the money who came out and said that our people need a financial package. Why do you think that there weren't any Ukrainians coming on those same platforms saying, well, no, I don't think there's enough money to give us? Why do you think the people stayed silent while representatives were talking? Yeah, why do you think so? Why? Because they would have, listen, you know why? Because they're on code. They would have undone what their own people were seeking to do to benefit them. And I'm only making an example. I'm saying this is why our people are in a standstill. And I need you to listen to this and listen to this good. We're the only people, we're the only people that when it comes down to something for us, we're the only people who have other people who are suffering the same, who would come up publicly and say why it can't be done. We're the only people. But go on.
Yes, we are. I do agree.
But go on.
Yes, we are. I do agree. We're the only people.
And listen,
it's just like you mentioned Obama.
Sister,
and how,
I'm gonna let you go.
Yes,
but the reason why I flipped it that way, is because no one said that reparations bonds that could unlock $300 billion for Ukraine. No one said that this money could not happen for the Ukrainians, that it would actually break the system. No one stated that. The $300 million that just the $80 billion that just went to Israel. No one stated that it would break the country if it was sent. So what's the difference between them helping the people, helping us, same money? What would break the system if they helped our people with it?
They just don't want to see us in power. They don't want to see us in power.
Okay.
They don't want to see us in power, and we have to start seeing ourselves more in power rather than us being entertained by our politicians. We need to have an agenda and questions for our politicians, and we should be powerful enough to remove people from the ballot.
That's true. Sister, we do have this spending power. Look how much money circulates as consumers within the economy.
Material.
Our people are the consumers.
You're right.
So we do have the power. And let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. Let me tell you this. No different than any other people, there is a resounding unification within our people, blacks in America, who's sounding from every walk of life, a resounding unification when it comes to messaging, stating reparations is the only thing that they can actually provide for our people. So what you're saying and actually getting on code with one message is actually happening. But they are ignoring it. They won't even listen to it.
Right, because I'm on the they won. I'm on my local reparations committee now. I'm working with a brother that did a state and I think a federal lawsuit, and I'm gonna be working with him to do a national. I'm in Oakland, and I'm working with Reverend Bishop Henry.
Okay.
and we're planning on going to a national level to file the lawsuit nationally, since they're not listening to us on a state or federal. We do have the power, yes.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're doing that, but check this out.
We need to be on code.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we do need to be on code with one another.
Sister,
yeah.
We do. We're getting there. But this is what I'm saying, you know, with our people, it's like we have to draft this. We have to go there. We have to do this, right? We have to get with a panel, a council to determine. Matter of fact, let's get a council on talking about reparations. Where was the lawsuit? Not to speak against you or anybody. I'm just using these as an example. Where was the where was the panel to talk about reparations for Ukraine or Israel? So they don't mind entertaining us spinning wheels.
You're so right.
All in all,
there was no panel.
Exactly. So the whole deal is
there was no panel.
They will entertain spinning wheels. All in all, they know
they cut the check for them.
Thank you. So listen, sister, I'll pray that whatever you're doing gain traction. But I'm gonna tell you, sister, if they wanted to do it, they would have done it. So
I agree
so
with
now
you too on that. I do.
Listen,
it's
so
real
now
simple.
listen. So now it's time to say, well, listen, we're not waiting for you to do anything. What are we gonna do different as a people? See, and that's the point. How can you make them pay for ignoring you while giving what belonged to you to everyone else? And that's what we're putting on the table. It's not no sitting there like it tell you in the scriptures, like a dog waiting for crumbs to fall from the master's table now.
That's right.
If you are 80% of a voting block that determine whether or not these people become millionaires and billionaires with their political positions, if you got that much power, what are you willing to do to make them pay for ignoring you? Thank you, sister. But and keep us
welcome.
Keep
and
us
thank
up
you.
Keep us up to date on this process you're making, okay, with the reparations.
I shall.
All right, thank
yes,
you.
I shall. Okay?
All right, Pam.
And thank you.
Us.
You're welcome.
No, I'm sorry,
Shalom.
Shanice. All right, bless you. 651 area code. And I don't see the gays coming out stomping for our people. And there's no way they would be in position if they didn't tie themselves to the black struggle of civil rights. Okay? I don't see the Asians, the black and brown people. No one out there saying, you know what? We built our financial foundation to springboard into the upper class off of the black civil rights. Let's now just all come together and say, you know what? For once, let's do something for them. These black people, foundation, the tribe of Judah, came off of slave ships in America. We're going to do something for them and them only, knowing that there will be no position for us if it wasn't for their struggle. Right? And I'm going to tell you why this is so important if it was to happen. And this is why they don't want it to happen. If Judah do it in America, then it sets a precedent. Now, any place our people were enslaved, there's a blueprint now to go to that particular country that have colonized for what? For reparations. See? I don't see gay people talking about it. The civil rights thing have benefited everyone except us. And now our people have what? A unified, resounding political, I would say, request. So they know what it is. They know what it is, folks, but yet they are intentionally talking around it and ignoring it. And this should, and folks, and why am I pointing this out right now? I'm pointing this out right now because they're barring our people out of the workforce intentionally. And if they don't do something to repair our people who went through chattel slavery, especially after the stuff our people just took, okay, when the earth shut down, let me tell you, folks, a lot of us may cease to exist. That's why I'm bringing it out. The only thing that they could do to show that they hear exactly what our people are suffering through is only one thing they can do. But you know what? I don't believe, folks, I don't believe they're budging. But I need our people to open their eyes now. Where's the gays now? The LGBTQ, while our sisters are getting put out, but they was using you to stomp for them. See? This is an eye-opener right now. And our sisters are getting put out all over the place. They don't even report when our sisters go missing. And no one is stomping for you. Where's the Chinese? Where's the East Indians? All of these people came in on what? The Civil Rights Bill. It was our people who bled in the streets, who suffered so that they can have clearance to come in to do what? To represent us as black and brown people? Disrespect. I'm just hoping that the light come on, the light come on for our people to understand that this is blatant disrespect. And now these people who have intentionally deceived our people and got us out in the street suffering while they're throwing money willy-nilly all over the place, that we're now going to make them pay. And if not supporting them is a beginning, then I'll do that. We don't care how many police situations come up that y'all can claim. We don't care about your George Floyd stuff that you may create again. We don't care about criminal justice. We don't care about none of that. If they don't do what they're doing for everyone else, like the Ukraine, brothers and sisters need to make them pay and say, you know what? We're done with the process. And it's time for us to discuss amongst ourselves, how do we survive being barred out of the economy? And I believe the eventuality of all of this is that we'll come to some consensus and say, you know what? We need to come together to protect ourselves, support ourselves, and on top of that, we're going to lean on this God who said all of this would become a reality. That unless we come together as God's people under a moral code, we're done. And if anything, it's the Most High pulling us closer together, knowing that we can't trust in a system that have always benefited off of what? Our degradation. So I hope the light come on, folks. Brothers and sisters need to make them pay and say, listen, no pandering. Unless you're talking turkey, get out my face. Don't knock on my door. Don't come to me talking about anything. I don't want you to sympathize for me. I don't want no apology from you. Okay? Apologies don't pay the bills. Apology doesn't pay the bill. You're not apologizing to Israel or to Ukraine. So they knock on your door. They're going to pay people to come out and pander and knock on your door. They're going to talk about Trump, MAGA, and all that. And you're going to look at them like, listen, get out of my face. Your policy is aimed at destroying us. It's your people. No sooner as you put Biden in the office, the borders open, and we looked up, and it was all of these other people working the jobs our people used to have. The enemy within, you're doing. You're strategically placing them in a place that can actually press us, and you're not just letting any people in. You're not even checking these people who are criminals who are coming through, who's going to assault our women, who's going to harm our children. That was intentional, folks. That's intentional. These people are mercenaries. They're social mercenaries. And I'm going to tell you this right now. It's the same thing that Haman the Agagite sought to do during the time of Persia. in the 5th century with Queen Esther when she was in place. It's the same policy to pay everyone else to stomp us out. Kenya has a comment.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. What say you?
I was calling. Wonderful. I was calling in because all this talk with Biden and his regression and the talk of possibly a female president. I wanted to share a little blip of a dream or a thought that I had when I woke from a dream.
Okay,
about 4 years ago.
Okay.
So 4 years ago, I woke and I couldn't tell you what I was dreaming. I just woke and the words through Biden, we'll have our first female president. And it was so crazy. I didn't think anything of it much. It was really puzzling, but I didn't even jot it down. I'm in the habit of jotting down anything that comes to mind when I wake in the night or if I'm reading.
Okay.
I didn't even write it down because it was so bizarre. I thought, what on earth was I dreaming that I would wake up with that thought? So I just wrote it off. And that was probably about 3 months before the primaries here in Minnesota. So then fast forward a couple months later, I wake up one morning and I see that Joe Biden is president, which was so crazy to me because I didn't think anything of that dream or those words that I had. And I didn't think much of it because at the time I thought more than half the country just knew Trump had it in the bag. So when I woke up and realized Biden was crowned president, that dream then came back to me. Well, I shouldn't say dream because I don't remember what I was dreaming for me to wake up with those words. But those words came back to me through Biden, we'll have our first female president. So hearing the talk lately, I thought I have got to share this tonight. That was just crazy.
Well, sister, it's deep that you're saying this, but I'm going to tell you, I mean, the whole thing was baked in from the beginning. No one would have voted for Kamala lost in the primaries. For some reason, they wanted her. They wanted her in position. Don't forget, she gave our brothers and sisters hell through truancy and throwing our people in jail in California. She was rejected in the primaries. And here it is, Biden showed cognitive decline even during that time. But even, I'm going to tell you, but once Biden became the candidate, when they matched Kamala with him, they trying to use that female Obama type of deal with her to coax black women in through symbolism and supporting her, okay? Once they did that, it was all baked in. Because everyone knew that Biden really didn't run his last campaign. The smoke and mirrors from the rioting, all this other stuff that was going on the streets, it was Kamala they was propping up in front of people and all of that because they were afraid that people would see that he was on a cognitive decline back then. And I said it back then. I said they're going to just use this dude because they really want to use these people here. It's not just it's not just her. She's just a face to get black women into the electoral process to vote these people in. So she was already baked in the whole time.
Unfortunately.
Okay. She guess what? This woman right here cannot relate at all with our sisters. She can't relate at all. And then there's some ambiguity. Or her father's from Jamaica, her mother's from India. Almost the same script as Obama. From somewhere else, father from somewhere else. The mother is another nation. So sis, even though the Most High, you probably, it was given to you, and you been shown that and all that, it was already baked in. Anyone can see that she was the one in place when everyone figure out, she would be the one to replace when everyone figure out that we have not a weekend at Bernie's, 4 years at Bernie's. And I don't know if you've seen Weekend at Bernie's, where these college guys and the guy fell dead, but because he had money and prestige and all that, they used him as a prop talking behind him, you know what I mean, to make sure, that the weekend still come off. Well, guess what? That's what we got.
We got it in real life. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got 4 years at Bernie's. Okay, that's what we have. So now the Democrat Party is about to burn him because we know it's still the Obamas working. And now they're looking for what? They're looking for a dark horse to come in at the very end, the proverbial dark horse to save the Democrat Party, Michelle Obama, and they may pair her, I'm telling you now, with Kamala to do what? To engage sisters back into their own destruction. The Go Girl campaign. That's what it's going to be about. The Go Girl campaign. I says, yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. Folks, our people, sisters are suffering in the neighborhood. Outside of the fronting we're doing on Instagram, all that woman empowerment, our communities are totally decimated. And they may do this again to make, oh yeah, we really get it on. We the most educated, and we just, and yeah, look at the community. What good is an education if it doesn't what? If it doesn't translate into better children, more educated children, more productive children. So the only thing they can do is through symbolism. They're going to do the Go Girl campaign. That's going to be the death knell for what's ever left in the community. Guarantee it. Look at it. Watch it. Thank you, sister.
Thank you, Elder.
All right. Who this? Debbie has a comment and or question.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. How are you?
Blessings. I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
Right. I'd like
Thanks
to
for
answer your
asking.
question.
Yes.
You're welcome. I have a two-part answer. Have we learned anything? Yes and no.
Okay.
And the reason why I say yes is because just recently in the voting, the Democratic Party didn't get the votes they wanted out of South Carolina. Over 200,000 of us sat home. To me, that's saying that they're seeing something is going on.
Okay.
And did not go there.
Well, that's
so
good. That's
I
good.
can't say completely no. And people can look that up too. There are numbers. If they don't go by the percentages, go by actual numbers.
Okay.
And also, I say yes because I have heard people literally verbalize what they're seeing and how it's affecting us. The reason why I say no is because we do have a faction that I've seen over the years that can verbalize what they see is against us, but then when it comes right down to it, they fall in line, quote unquote. And they can talk and say, yeah. And then when it comes right down to it, they follow what the politicians say. They follow what their civil rights community say, and they turn around and do the complete opposite of what they said they were going to do. And in seeing that unfold, it made me look at our demographics, which a lot of times we don't look at. We have a whole civil rights community that looks at symbolism.
Okay, that's true.
All they look at is that we went to the march and we died to get the vote. and they go out there and vote because people died to get the vote. And if you tell them that the vote has to be renewed every 25 years, I've been called a liar, even though I had the receipts, and it's at that point, I knew that demographic of people, sometimes, you can't put new wines into old wineskins, but there's a younger generation that I say we have hope in and we need to pray for, because the generation that is under 45 years old, under 50, that generation going in between there is a generation that a lot of them never step foot in a church. A lot of them don't follow the whole civil rights thing. Okay. They're looking at things as it actually is. They want to know what is going to what can you do for me? Yeah. And after following their older counterparts over a cliff, a lot of them have turned and said, hey, I'm not going to do that again. So they're, 30, 35 younger, and they're making videos and they're saying things like, you're not going to come after me, talking about, there was a video where this one gentleman, he was one of us and he was pandering and he was saying, yeah, we're going to go after Big Mama with the big hat. We're going to go after the ones that make them pies. Those are the ones where we're going to get our Democratic votes from. And the younger people are saying, oh, no, we see what you're doing. So that's why my answer is in two parts. Now, on the reparations, I feel very strongly in regards to this, because here in North Carolina, when we have a hurricane or there is something, or a tornado, some damage, the government gives out stipends to families with children and things like that. Nobody ever says, don't give it to me. Nobody, they take it, they cash their check. When we had the rollout 3 years ago, there was so many people, our people too, that got monies to encourage their people to do that thing. They got it at the churches. They got it at the schools. Yeah. Principals lined their pockets. Directors lined. I watched them. They took their red bottom shoes and went and got their money and encouraged you to go do what they were said to do. Now, the problem with that is that on the other side, they're in the boardrooms going, now look, I'm going to give you this and you're going to get this, but you're going to sign the dotted line. Don't ask for any of that other stuff. You can't support your people. And this is what we're not realizing, that we have sororities, fraternity, and I'm telling you this by example because I lived through it 3 years ago. Okay. I was surrounded by Delta, Alpha, Psi Phi, all of them, and they were in line on code for the bag. Even if they have to throw their own people under the bus.
Even at the expense of the total destruction and decimation of our community. The boulets. Yeah.
With no tears. No tears. From the elderly down to the babies. I sat through meetings from UNC, because I'm a nurse. I sat through those meetings online, listening to the doctors that were planning to roll out 300 kids to test the you-know-what. I sat through listening to them plan and plot to get the bag. So when it comes to reparations, when you're thinking about a people, they already have an idea of who they bought out already. See? They know who they've bought out already. Who you might think could stand for you, but they don't have any foundation. And the younger ones have the confidence to stand up, but they don't have any foundation to back them up, because the civil rights section, they're not going to back them up because they say, well, you should do it out of symbolism. So that's what I see.
These people are soulless. So they are soulless because you know what? They really played on the ignorance that they know exists, just within our community to some degree. I'm not even going to say it's the ignorance. And here it is. You have a trusted position of authority that our people seek to the educated to look out for them. Okay? The educated of other people look out for them. And so they use the trusted, educated segment of our community to come in to sell us out. And you know what? There's a price to pay for that. Because no one out there in their right mind who can put 2 and 2 together, who know 2 and 2 is 4. If you're looking at what's going on with all the funerals, all the people that are sick, the cognitive issues, we have to relate it to what we just came out of and the choices we made during that time. And these people, and especially these educated, like you said you were around, they know that what we are experiencing in our communities right now is a direct result of them convincing our people to go along with it. You have the last word, but very poignant, very, very articulate assessment, sister. I really appreciate that.
The water for that. And for the last word, I want to say that I literally have listened to people say that this is what we're going to say for the community, that your poverty is causing your sickness. So the more impoverished they are, the more they need this rollout. The more impoverished they are, the more they need our sounding points that we're going to put on the board. And this is what they plan before they roll it out so that they can get the monies. It's all about the bottom line. And I yield with that.
Well, thank you, sister. And just watch this summer. Just watch for 2 things. I need you to watch for them coming into our neighborhood, pandering like they've always, roll out their same talking heads, and watch Kamala, because I don't know where Biden's going to be at this time. Kamala or Michelle Obama, they're going to start rolling them out. Watch for them to go into one of the black neighborhoods and do the electric slide. They're going to get like 20, 30 people together, photo op, and you're going to see them electric sliding and all that. And everybody, it's almost like when Obama got up there and sung Amazing Grace. It's watch this and watch it. And then look for either, especially with the immigrants coming in, a lot of criminals coming in, look for them. Who knows? They could have a mercenary that will actually do a crime that harms a lot of black people. Look for them to step in, some black people get hurt, and then it's blame on some racial tension that will lead to them running with this race thing, right? Race baiting to get our people to say, well, listen, we have to vote Democrat, even though we don't believe in them. They're going to get triggered through symbolism. They're going to do the electric slide. They're going to pander. You're going to see they're going to be eating chicken again, right? All of that. And then a shooting might happen, and then they'll tie that to some racial police thing, the same old rollout. And I just want to see whether or not our people have learned anything through it. I'm going to see. Thank you, sister.
One
Great
more
call.
thing. I don't know. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
The water.
Go on. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. One more thing is that as you say that, people have to look that the people that are in those videos now are getting younger and younger because they can't appeal to those that are between 45 and like 25, 26 anymore. And the older ones, a lot of them are sick and a lot of them are not here anymore. So those videos are being targeted toward the teenagers, the ones and the younger ones in their early 20s. They want money. They like prestige. They're all into social media. And it's a whole different demographic. And we have to be wise and look at what's going on, because if you're losing votes on one end because people are wising up, where are you getting the other votes from? And that's all I have to say.
Okay, well, they probably scurrying over the border right now. All right, thank you, sister. Bless you. All right, bless you. 816 area code. I'm not joking. 816 area code.
Shalom, Elder. Brother Elder, how you doing?
Shalom, how are you?
I'm doing well. I guess I had a comment. I hope you can tie it all together. Probably with the base of the show. Here in KC, of course, they had the Super Bowl champion parade.
Okay.
And there's a lot of events that went down during that, and maybe you can kind of conclude on some things. What happened was there was a shooting, and the mayor had to get on the TV after the event, and a sister was killed, and 14 others were hurt.
Sorry to hear
but
that.
But the mayor was stating that they had about 250 to 350 police officers that were local, that were on site, as well as like 250 outside assistants, as he said, and those guys had on all brown gear. And so not sure where they came from or what type of tactical support they was going to bring, but they looked kind of military. And with all that help, still, for the first time, I guess, at the Super Bowl parade, there was a loss of a life. And at the same time, they had, throughout the day, collected maybe 50 children and sent them to the local children's medical center who had got separated from their parents. So it's just a lot of, like you said, some things on the event side of how it might turn out. And, this may be an avenue for celebrities, athletes, or an actor of some sort. And that could be one way to do things. But, yeah, with all that security that happens, I don't know if they want to beef up security and certain things. But that's what happened when they were supposed to get a celebratory time.
Hey brother, there's a lot of background noise. Are you driving? Do you have a window?
Yes, sir. I'm driving a truck. Yes, sir. I'm in a semi truck, so I can get back on mute. But I'm just here to hear from you.
All right, thank you, brother. So if I can make out what he was saying that there's some activity going from the Super Bowl, a shooting already, that might be politically driven, that may actually dovetail off of some of the things I'm talking about. Right now, everything is politically driven. Don't believe anything they're saying out there, because they are priming the pumps. In an election year, they're always operating like this. So just thank you, brother. Keep your ear to the ground. And there was a shooting. Hey, we're going to see what comes of it. But since we're talking about the Super Bowl real quick, I don't know if any of you all seen this, brothers and sisters, right? Of course, Usher. I'm like, okay, so Usher, what are they ushering in? You got Alicia Keys on the piano, very talented sister, riding a scarlet beast. The book of Revelation. The woman, the woman who sits on many waters, the scarlet colored beast. So what are they ushering in? The beast is the 10 horns. All power goes back to Europe. The woman who rode the scarlet color beast. See that? When you look at it from the top, the sky view, it looks as if she's riding something. Halftime. Usher. Ushering in what? The beast. The beast system. Folks, nothing is by chance. Everything they do has some esoteric occult connection to it. Right? Sam has a comment.
How are you, sir? Shalom.
I am blessed by the Almighty. And folks, I want to say this Friday, you have to be there because there's a lot I want to talk about. There's a doctor who's going into detail concerning the effects that we're seeing in people. As far as the juice goes, a doctor, it's a brother too. They've been trying to silence him. He was warning people that, hold up, this isn't some regular stuff. People are changing. And I'm talking about a genetic change for those that follow, the beast. Let me put it that way. But go on, Sam. What say you?
All right. Just a few things that to touch on a lot of things that you were saying in regards to, especially the jab that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
I've been telling my family about that for a while, and not to do it, and at the end of the day, some did and some didn't.
Hey.
Me and my wife, my boys, we didn't do it.
Good. You're fine.
So all praise to the Lord.
And you're absolutely fine, right?
Oh yes, we go by scripture. We listen to you a lot. We're as a matter of fact, we're on right now, and that's how I was able to call in because I saw that you were on.
Okay.
So yeah, so we go by the fruits and vegetables and herbs like the scriptures tell us to.
Great.
Mm-hmm. And so just to touch on a few of the things that you were talking about in regards to have we learned anything? For me and my wife, we've learned a lot, and we've been telling other people about the situations that's been going on in the world today. We learned that in Zephaniah 3:9 it says that we were going to return into a clean lip. So we woke up. And when the Most High woke us up, we start looking at things as how they were, according to Scripture.
Okay.
And then that's when the Most High started really revealing some things to us. And then he showed us some people, but then the Most High directed us to GOCC, to you guys. And we've been listening to you guys for about, I think about 1.5 to 2 years now.
Okay.
And, and also when you were talking about the reparations, and dealing with the women, how they're using our women they're using our women as a weapon of mass destruction to infiltrate the men. So we won't be able to do what we need to do in such a way to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're putting them up on a pedestal to say, oh, I got this and I got that and I don't need you. Now it's turning, like you said earlier, they're putting our women out at a high rate. And so now they're going to have to turn back to the protection of our men, but us as the men have to be in place in order to be able to accept them coming back and be able to give them the right direction, which is to follow the law, statutes, and commandments like the Most High told us to,
Yeah.
And then you said something about reparations. Will they give it to us? No.
No. What I was asking was whether or not the people have learned. Whether or not we have learned in the last few years after voting for our own destruction. Have we learned anything? What have we learned in the last few years, if anything?
Well, I think that we've learned some lessons. Experience is the best.
Because I didn't ask whether or not they're going to give us reparations. That it's not even about what they're going to do. It's really about what we're going to do. Right. But go on.
Exactly. So what we, just like you were saying earlier, what we have to do is come together. And that's all I've been hearing you say, talking about come together as a nation in itself. And if we did learn anything, we learned that they're not going to do things that they said they were going to do according to their own writings. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we have to come together, and then I understand and I saw and understood that some of the politicians are, under the umbrella of Catholicism, and they have a prayer called the Kol Nidre prayer, where it says they don't have to keep their vows.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they're going to lie anyway. So and if we've been looking for things from them.
I'm with you, but I'm more so into, I don't know whether or not you heard the whole program or when you came in. more so from the angle of what we're going to do. We know who they are and what they're going to do. I want to know from our angle, have we learned anything? But you've answered that. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I need to go down the line, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, Sean has a comment. Blessings. Shalom. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Shalom, Elder Rawchaa.
Shalom. Let's make it clear. Let me make it clear, sisters. They're not just duping our sisters. Okay. This feminism have destroyed women in general. Okay, there's a lot of white women out there. They're dangling in the wind. And guess what? The difference is, guess what? Their men is straight up like, yeah, go on. Right? And guess what the white men are doing? The white men are saying, it's cool. We got a whole lot of Ukrainians just came through, and we're pivoting that way to keep our seed going. So this is not just that, they're traveling other places. White men been traveling other places to get traditional women. So don't think this is just a black woman thing that's being duped. Feminism has destroyed the Western world because our sisters wouldn't do this unless they seen the white women doing feminism and all this stuff first. How many times we seen a scenario where sisters are getting checked on certain things, and the answer is, well, white women do it. Right? So the whole thing is, don't think this is just a black woman thing when it comes to the total degradation and destruction, the demoralization of the world through feminism. White women they about to suffer all this stuff too. Okay? Yes, Sean. What say you?
Yes, sir, Elder Rawchaa. I just would like to give my perspective on what we could do for our people to come together. It starts with Psalms chapter 146, verses 3 and 4. I don't know if you want me to read that or if you would like to bring that up on the screen.
No,
whichever
brother, go for it.
It's fine with you.
Go for it.
Okay. It says, put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth, and that very day his thoughts perish. Tells us right there not to put any trust in any of these princes or politicians, dignitaries, rulers, celebrities, anyone with status on this earth, because they're compromised. Now, it tells us there's no help.
Hold up now.
There will be no reparations.
Listen, but I agree with you. But the question is, because we never said trust in princes. You said that would bring us together, right?
Yes.
How is, you have to realize the people that are out there that don't know what we know, don't know not to trust in princes. So how do you get them to understand
Correct.
that? How do you get them to understand that?
Well, I did some research on what we currently have.
No, I'm asking you a question.
As Judeans.
How do you get them to understand not to trust in princes?
We have to go out and show them where they've erred in their ways by trusting.
Yeah, but the whole thing is,
and offer the alternative.
Okay, I'm gonna show you something, because as a teacher, you have to realize even Paul dropped. He says, "You must become all things to all men, that you should gain a few, and be able to condescend to the lowest level." Telling people outright not to trust in princes isn't going to stop them, because they can't relate to what we're saying. They can relate to, but what they can relate to is what they are experiencing. So as a teacher, we come to them on the level they're on to have them understand certain things based on their current experiences, whether it be voting, whether it be being put out, whether it be whatever the case is, to use these experiences that they're dealing with on the lowest level to bring them into the word. And as they come into the word and study and grow, they'll see, I can't trust in princes. But just saying that isn't going to have them understand it. So I'm with you. I know what the Bible says. You can't trust in princes. But if I can provoke a conversation that would have them see the Most High through all of it, reparations is a good conversation. Because we didn't trust in Pharaoh, but we left Egypt with much substance, including Pharaoh chipping in. We can trust in our God. And our God, if it be his will, can put the spirit on these people and bend them to do the will, his will for our people. You understand that?
Of course.
Okay, go on.
Is that what Black Wall Street came to the conclusion of and tried to work with each other, knowing that they were Israel? Is that an example of coming together, not trusting in princes, but coming together under the Most High and circulating funds and assets amongst each other to help each other?
Yes, we can do it. We can do that, but we have to do it more on an underground type of scenario, right? Another thing is, and that's a great point you made, Christ set the foundation spiritually on how we can interact and operate with one another, right? And not become a target that they can totally take out like Wall Street. The whole thing is the foundation comes through the body interacting with each other, and it becomes an international network through the body. We are connected through the spirit, and then we would prefer one another and have all things common and support each other in our endeavors to help the body. Okay, so yes, that's how we come together. But looking for the everyday person to come together in all of this, nah, what we're doing is fishing and bringing people in the body and say, okay, it's time for us to network and operate within ourselves. That's the plan. You got it?
Okay, good. Good. That's what I thought would be the solution.
Yeah, because let me tell you, there is no wins in thinking that our people are going to come together in time enough and operate with each other according to the Most High, right? When the immigrants are already in the neighborhoods. There's no time for that. Okay.
Right.
It's
correct.
Right. So we're fishing, and those who could see are going to actually come in and say, okay, this is where there's safety. Okay. People of like mind through the spirit of the Most High, who are being led through the spirit to actually network one amongst another. So that's the answer. This world is done. Okay.
Correct.
And I'm gonna say this: whoever fall for what the Democrat Party is about to do, I don't care whether or not they were triggered, whether or not they were deceived. Folks, I'm gonna tell you this right now. That may be the last opportunity these people get the vote. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about literally on earth. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and then if something does happen, right? If something does happen, listen to me clearly, that they can escape some of the destruction that they're going to aim towards our neighborhoods, our people. Because Daniel's tell us distinctly that they're looking to attack the holy people. If you vote for it, don't complain. Take it, whatever it is, because that's where you put your hope into. I'm not talking. So that's the whole thing. So when I speak of reparations and all these other things, I speak to what's just. so that our people can look at it and understand how unjust a system we were brought up under. So this is to open our people's eyes, our people's eyes, who've always thought that there's some trust in these so-called politicians. And look what have happened to our people ever since Obama came on the scene. That's the point. All of these are talking points that lead back to a spiritual resolve. And by default, one would realize there's only one answer: our God. Our God.
Come.
Under, right? And we must come together as we were at Mount Sinai receiving that law. And brother, this is what you're witnessing right now. Okay? I mean, right now, what? It's about 10 o'clock. Even earlier today, I thought, believe it or not, I had this whole thing wrapped up at 8:01 and went to the phone calls. And I'm going to tell you this. This is what we're here for, because it's about provoking thoughts, having us think outside the box. And these conversations we're having, and I'm glad you're mentioning in that. Listen, brother, we don't trust in princes, but our people do. See? So how can we use where they are in that trust in the princes?
It's unfortunate.
To lay out the word, using these politics and all this as nothing more than a talking point. See?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, then it'll lead our people to say, you know what? I'm not voting for nothing. The Asians, they don't vote unless something benefits their community, unless they get something in their pocket. Our people never looked at that angle before. Okay, all of our voting been emotional. Oh, woe is me. We was picking cotton, red line. We was getting sprayed by water hose, and the white man did this, and we got a right to vote through the struggle. That's how we see voting. When other people come over and see voting as a ticket to finances. And our people, the only one who've ever rolled it out like that was Martin Luther King before they killed him. Voting was a step to get the reparations. Like, no, because he says, no, next we come into Washington. And this is what Martin Luther King said. And y'all going to cut that check. Because when other people come in here, whether it be Jews, whether it be Ukrainians, whether it be anybody else, they become what? Even the Italians and all these others, they get paid through the electoral process with their representatives. And that's the thing I want to put out there to people, so that when these so-called grifters come knocking on their door, they can say, listen, y'all ain't giving me nothing. Okay? And when the Asians vote, even though their vote don't matter compared to ours, they get something. And any other people, they get something. I want to wise our people up. So to come to a educated decision on why not to trust the process. See? And you have to take steps with that, brother, to show them. They're not going to, some people just isn't going to read the Bible and understand it right out, what that means. When they're in a struggle right now, and now someone is knocking on their doors, giving them false hope. So eventually, they'll choose the false hope over a precept. So you have to work that in their mind through that process to let them know why they're making a conscious decision not to deal with that false hope every 4 years, even if they're in the same state suffering as they are. I'd rather stay like I am and not do anything for you. Because if I go out there and vote for you, you become a millionaire. Right? You open up, I open up all types of lanes for you, and then I'm suffering in this same country, with laws aimed towards destroying and displacing my people. So people have to logically understand all of that to make a conscious choice, even if they're suffering. And that's where I want our brothers and sisters, because we'll get to the point where there's no more hope in this electoral process, and it leaves them no decision than to what? fall on their knees and ask the Most High to show a sign. Give me something. Show me you're real. And guess what? Every time you're there in that space between you and the Most High, it happens. He reveals himself. So even if anyone had any hope in the system with Obama and know that there's no hope in the system, it leads us back to that humble place between us and God. And you know what? I would rather see brothers and sisters there. And guess what? That's greater than reparations. Yeah, that's greater than reparations.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all,
that's what the Most High wants anyway.
Exactly, sir. But all in all, I want to see our brothers and sisters say, listen, if I'm a part of this, what I get, what are you going to give me? And I don't want to hear about no criminal reform, no voters' right. I don't want to hear about no college debt relief, none of that. Because that only helps what? Single individuals, when your laws that you pass for Asians help all Asians. The Asian hate crime bill would protect all Asians, including the Asians who are coming over here illegally into the country. Right. So what you going to do for a few individuals ain't going to work. What are you going to do for all of my people like you do for Asians, Israelis, Jewish people, Ukrainians? And if you can't say what you're going to do for all of us, guess what? Let that doorknob do what it do on the way out. I want to see our people. I want to see our sisters like that. Oh, what you got for me? And I give you 2 minutes to tell me. If you got to think about it, guess what? You only get 20 seconds. So start rapping. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
It's a shame. Our people think more emotional instead of biological.
Yeah.
That's a downfall when they go out and, trust in the system or trust in princes. But, just something as simple as our sisters knowing that Michelle Obama is good friends with George Bush. But yet they have us out here believing it's a left-right paradigm and Democrat versus Republican when they're operating in cahoots behind closed doors. You can pull up some YouTube videos on that.
Yeah. Of course they're operating together, playing hot potato. But like I said, I don't expect the Democrats to change. I don't expect the Republicans to change because they're two horns of the same devil, on the same devil. Only thing I expect, this is why I wanted to pose this is, and I wanted to talk about it. What have we learned and what will we do different? And I'm just going to leave that out there for those who are listening. Thank you, my brother. You have to do something different. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for taking my call.
Great call. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Bless you. All right. We have 510 area code.
That's you.
That's you.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom, sir. What's your name?
My name is Tyrone, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
A blessed and highly favored, brother.
All praises.
I want to touch on some of the things you were talking about, from the reparations to the politics.
Okay.
I've lost total faith in the electoral process of this country. People talking about Democrats and people talking about Republicans, and you just spoke on it just a second ago. You basically took the words out of my mouth, but they got the left wing and the right wing, but they're both the same wings of the same bird. These people get behind closed doors and they're carrying out or talking about the policies and agenda of Esau.
You're right.
Everybody, right now, I mean, our people died, and for the right to vote. I only have faith to a degree in voting on the local level.
We're going to talk about that in a moment. I'm going to write that down because we need to talk about that. All right.
Right. And
all right. Keep on.
All right. And this president, who's basically a figurehead, presidents, and this is my belief, presidents are selected. They're not elected.
Okay.
They select whatever person they want in office to carry out a certain agenda.
True.
When Obama came into the office, and I did vote for the brother. I voted for the brother because he was speaking change, but I was under no illusion that things were going to be different for the black people in America. Actually, things got worse.
Okay,
Most
hold up.
people, more
Hold
black
up, brother.
men-
I'm going to let you flow.
Mhm.
But you voted for the brother with no expectation that things would change for your people. You had you knew that nothing would change, but you voted. Hold up.
You
Listen.
knew nothing would change.
But listen to me,
Go ahead.
brother.
I'm listening.
So I'm asking a question because this is why I'm glad we have this phone call. Other voting blocks don't vote like that. They don't vote knowing that nothing is going to change. They vote with a clear, specific answer from the policymakers, what they're going to get for it. And I just wanted to highlight that when you said that. I voted for the brother, knowing that things weren't going to change. And you know what? That's not the Democrats' fault. That's not Barack Obama's fault. That's something wrong with us.
Right. Well, see, Barack Obama could only carry out can only carry out the policies that he's instructed to do. In my view, in my eyes, the only thing Obama did by being in office was gave little black children hope that they can be something other than a
Slow up,
rapper,
brother. Slow
other
up.
than a
Slow up. Because I heard that line as if it came out of the DNC board meeting. Okay. Because this is when our people started moving the goalposts. When Barack Obama wasn't doing anything for our people, at the end of it, we started saying stuff like this. Well, at least as a black man, that gave us hope. Brother, I'm glad you're speaking because we need brothers and sisters to understand how our people continually put our spiritual resources into something. And that's what voting is, to continually get nothing in comparison to other people. That's what's wrong. We didn't need no representative to show that we can be president or have hope. Because that ain't what you do for other people. Okay? We don't care about a black, we don't care. Our people, symbolism is what destroyed us. Okay? Even the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover said that we're going to give them their leaders. We're not going to ever allow them to another grassroots Martin Luther King or Malcolm X to arise. And we're going to make sure that if there's a leader, we give it to them. So for you to understand, so listen, so for you to understand that history of them giving us their leader to lead us, create the leader to lead us and still vote for him. What does that say for you? When you knew he wasn't going to do anything, did you know he was going to, did you know when you voted for him that he was going to? No, listen, answer the question. Listen, brother, listen, answer the question. Did you know when you voted for him that he was going to be the president to pen into law gay marriage?
No.
Thank you. And what type of hope?
No.
Listen, so now what type of hope that is for the young men who's looking at a president? That he can be what? A man who put on a dress? And that's why
I looked at it from that perspective.
Thank you. That's why I'm answering what came out of your mouth, because that was part of the Jedi mind trick they put on us to satisfy our people participating in our own demise. We have to get out of that stuff. We got to get out of that symbolism thought. I voted for the brother. He's not a brother that was raised around us. Okay.
Right.
He's
right.
not
Had nothing to do with Reconstruction or Jim Crow.
He came out of nowhere. He was made to do what he did.
Right.
So I'm with you, brother, but you're speaking on both sides. You're saying you know what the system is. You know Democrats and Republicans are both two wings of the same bird, but yet you sided with Obama.
Right. Right.
You have the last word.
In regards to reparations, we've been trying to, or hoping for 40 acres and a mule forever. Black people have not
sir. Sir, let me ask you, how old are you?
I'm 64.
Okay. All right. Okay. That says a lot, but go on.
What does that say, sir? I'm sorry.
Well, you came from, you're a little older, like you're about to what? Yeah. You came from the generation who still had I would say, an attachment to the glory of the civil rights movement. To understand its significance with our people having an opportunity to participate in a process that we were once barred from. So you have a different, altogether view of it. And through that, you appreciate it. After seeing all those things, the achievements with our people, like Barack, he's not my people because I don't know where he came from. Came from you appreciated the symbolism, seeing that a black man could actually do what?
You're 100% right.
Make it to the White House. And folks, this is what I'm saying. They knew that was enough for us. And it's a shame.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you this question before I bow out because I don't got too long here. Have our people learned anything? And if they learned anything, and including you, what?
I don't think I can speak for all of our people. Some of us haven't learned the fact that we're not going to get anything from this government unless we make a stand. And the stand, for me, I believe that we have to realize how powerful we are economically. We are the biggest consumers on the planet. And if we put our heads together and understand that if we start to reject or not spend our dollars,
brother,
with these people,
listen,
unless
all due respect to you, sir, we're up against time. There's not enough time for that. To have everybody together, come together and realize don't spend with each other when we don't have nothing set up to where to spend the money. We don't have enough time for that. The people are already here to take us over. So that's ideological hoping. Okay? That's not going to happen. We're not going to stop all together and say, let's stop spending and let's all come together and spend with each other. We don't have nothing. No foundational institutions to actually begin that particular. It would take 15, 20 years to start that. And we don't have that much time.
Do you believe reparations is going to happen?
I'm saying, but listen to me. I'm
listening.
I'm going to answer that because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put this on the screen real quick. All right?
All right.
What I'm looking at, breaking news. Reparation bonds could unlock $300 billion for Ukraine. And you know what? None of the Ukrainians didn't have to do anything. It happened. So the whole thing is, when you're up against other people that are getting financed like this, you need what? You need a treasury to oppose the enemies who are coming through.
Right.
Okay. When there's let me tell you, have you seen the Game of Thrones?
No, I haven't seen that movie.
Well, or it's a series. Well, in order for the Lannisters to actually continue to scale towards power, they had to go to the Iron Bank to get finances to sustain an army. You have to understand how the nations work here. The Ukrainians are 300 billion strong in treasury, and their families are coming over the border. Israel is 300 and upward $billion, okay, in treasury, right? And they're getting the money now. Yeah. The migrants, $300 billion treasury, and getting what? Getting free food, housing for 2 years, and all of that coming in the border in your community right now. What you're seeing is a funding of a war. We don't got 10 to 15 years to wait. In order to level this out, they would have to give our people at least the equivalent to what they're giving others for us to stay afloat, to fight on an economic level, a social level, a sustainability level to get institutions. When you see all this money going out to blocks of groups, this is what? The funding of social war. We don't have 15, 20 years to figure this out. The only way to do that, to level the ground, they would have to give our people reparations now just to be even. And we'll still be what?
Do you think that's going to happen?
Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Yes.
No. I don't think it's going to happen. But I would never get in front of saying that I wouldn't be the person who would stand up and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about it because, it'll never happen. No.
Right.
Because I understand that when we do that, we undercut our own people when other people never do that. They stay silent, knowing that someone is speaking for them. Right. And I believe they're not going to do it because they resent us. Because the enemy hates what they know will become prophetically. But would it be right for them to do it? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do I think our people should get it? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. So the whole thing is what I'm doing. I'm showing brothers and sisters that, listen, if you start making claims or start, taking stances like it'll never happen, then guess what? You're not even in the ideological part of the fight to stand with your brothers and sisters who are behind having it, at least pushing it, even if the enemy doesn't do it. Because what? If the enemy if the enemy refused to do it, it's okay. But at least it shows us what we've been dealing with all of our lives in hope of them changing.
Right.
And that's the point. Because brother, it's applying pressure. Because that's the point. It's applying the pressure that's needed, and the pressure should have been applied before Biden. No, this is what my man Ice Cube did. He applied pressure at the most strategic time, only to have our people come in, sisters and all that, and saying, well, what about us? And that's all they needed, was to see the black men on one side fighting for us and our sisters on the other side tearing it down. And when
he was speaking for everybody.
And when he was doing this for everybody. And I don't see no Ukrainian woman anywhere saying, well, hold up, where's the money for Ukrainian women? They're silent.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So when you ask me the question, I can give you the idea of how I believe it'll go. But guess what? I'm still 2 feet in with it happening, and I'll do anything for our people to get it, because our people are suffering, and we are what? We are out-financed compared to any other group that's coming in to destroy us. It's a war. Let me tell you, it's the only political point for our people, whether they have the truth or not. It's the only political point, okay? That it's the only thing that our people can ask for above anything else.
Right.
Because the Bible tells us that money is a defense. I don't have to worry about no criminal justice, because I'm not a criminal no more. I got the money to go do something right where I don't have to take chances with my life. Right?
Right.
I don't got to worry about what's going on with the police and all that, because what? If there's an anti-hate crime bill that protects people from police like who want to, execute their racism against us, guess what? If there's an anti-hate crime bill along with reparations, then if somebody tried to harm me, I'm in position to defend myself, and I got money to do so. So you understand? So from a political angle,
I got you.
So I'm telling you, if this was his politics based on all the money they've given everyone else, the only way to fight this war would be if they were to give that money to our people too.
Correct.
But they're using blackface to tell us that just having a man or a woman as a symbol is good enough while giving everyone else the money. You got it?
Wow.
That's the problem. That's the problem. All right? Thank you, my
Appreciate
brother.
the lesson, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. Bless you. All right, shalom.
He's deep.
He says he's deep. No, I'm a son of the Almighty. I'm a servant. 708 area code. Last call. And see, hold on. Before I bring you in, 708, hold tight. I could have stayed on longer when he said that he only vote primarily for the local areas. Voting for, what happens locally in his community. I would have kept him there, and you know why? Because usually it's vote down ballot for everyone that's blue. That's how our people been voting, okay? And they say, well, I really do it for the local areas. Look at our communities locally. That's what you voted for. Okay? These are the people who came in and totally allowed regentrification, the total destruction of our communities. So when you say you voting local, that's nothing to brag about either, because locally, let me tell you, our communities have been overran, tore down, and destroyed. And guess what, folks? The housing today, the new housing projects and all that, when it comes to the government housing, the majority of the housing in our community is going to people who identify as LGBTQ. Look it up. LGBTQ housing. That's the housing that used to be for our people. So the local policies have destroyed us also. 708. Elder Rawchaa, I thought he was going to make things better for us. Exactly. That's what most of our people thought. If anyone could relate to the disparity and the racism that we've experienced to come with some level of solution, the majority of us, well, not me, because I seen him coming, right? Because he came out of nowhere. The majority of the people thought Obama could relate. And our people started thinking, well, he can't do everything, but he's going to do something. He did absolutely nothing. A matter of fact, he did more than nothing. Folks, he set the foundation for us to be utterly displaced and destroyed. 909 area code. And I told people, let me tell you, I brought out that scripture years ago, and they're like, oh, you were talking about that Antichrist spirit. Hold on, sister. You were talking about that Antichrist spirit. Yeah, Obama's not in office anymore, huh? Yeah, so what happened to that? Folks, Obama never left. Right now, America is under an Obama administration. 909 area code. Last call for this evening.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, sister. How are you?
Hi, this is Tanisha. Good. I'm calling from Victorville, California. I'm so happy I got through. This is my first time calling through.
How you doing, sister? Bless you.
I just want to, good. I'm in the classes and I'm learning a lot.
Thank you.
Give all praises to the Most High for guiding me. I was asking the Most High to guide me in the right direction. I had been placing some, pieces on the chessboard, seeing how things is being moved in government. I just want to elaborate on this whole reparations, to Ukraine. I was paying attention to the Super Bowl, and I'm sure you also were paying attention to the events. Did you see the helicopter that had crashed with the billionaire banker from Nigeria?
No, that's interesting.
With him and his family. Yes. So it was a family, a CEO of a billionaire bank in Nigeria, the wife, the son, the two pilots, and there's someone else very important that just died here the night of the Super Bowl right here on the 15 freeway, which is in the state of California, headed towards Las Vegas. I was putting two and two together and thinking like, wait a minute, they just put out unlocking reparations for Ukraine. Where else could they be getting money from? We have to keep in mind, I was thinking, these people are evil. They're dark. They steal, they murder, they do whatever, So I was just wondering if maybe they were even taking it from our other people in Nigeria.
It's just that there's a lot of things, a lot of suspect things going on against our people who are politically in power, that's seeking to help, our people.
Right.
You notice that there's a lot of negative reports going out to destroy the tourism within the Bahamas right now. They're trying to report there's a United States warning not to go into the Bahamas. Then there was two white women who went there who claimed that they were assaulted. They were lesbians. Said that they were assaulted and blamed it on a black man in the resort. But then when the cameras came on, they went and researched it. These women were out getting their little girls trip on and was paying. Yeah, it was all out there in the news. The Bahamas said, listen, no, we got the cameras. These women were coming out here looking for men. And they had a GoFundMe and all that they end up taking down. But this is what they do. They send these little women in and then they make a spectacle out of it. So to what?
Yes.
To draw down tourism, knowing that Bahamas is already suffering. It's a predominantly Christian area. And guess what? It's suffering already, and it strives off of tourism. Any island strives off of tourism. That's the bulk of the money. And now American government in the Western world is giving the Bahamas bad press. So to do what? It's like putting sanctions on the Bohemians. The Bohemians. They do this. When they put out these reports, don't go here, don't go there, tourism goes down and people suffer. And they're doing this in all the places our people live.
Right.
So y'all got to watch those reports when they put stuff out. Don't travel here, don't travel there. Sometimes they're doing bad press, PR on a country to do what? To dry up funds for those particular people. And I'm going to tell you this, watch out for that. When they say, don't go here, don't go there, and come to find out when you do the research, it's the same. The statistics when it comes to crime and all that, it's the same as it was last year, but they just didn't report it.
Right.
So if the same number of people died last year during this time, why are you reporting it as a scare today if it isn't political? So they're doing this, sister. Anybody black that's seeking to help our own people, these are political games they play, sister. Or like the economic hitman, they get you out altogether, like that Nigerian banker you've just mentioned.
Yeah. That it just, had brought so much like revealing to me. And I was like, wait a minute, that's really strange all of a sudden, and they're saying it's being investigated why the helicopter crashed, and the significance of it being 6 people on the helicopter. I was like, probably.
Well, sister, I hope the investigator ain't the same person who's looking into the tunnels that was in Brooklyn that they call the Jew tunnels there, with the mattress. I hope that's not the same investigator, because I haven't heard anything about that. I'm a matter of fact, I need to make a U-turn and go back to that story and wonder and get some information on why it's so quiet now. So, but I digress.
It did. They just kind of swept it under the rug.
Yeah. All right. But let me ask you this before you go, sister, just to let you go.
Yes.
Our people have been through so much, and the last hope we had was Obama, and we thought that at least something would change. Have our people learned anything yet? If anything, or are they going to fall for the same thing again if they roll out Michelle Obama? What say you?
Just from my own personal experience, from people I know, they're still very much just sleep and, just trying to, talk to them and try to relate to them things that are happening to them so that maybe they can kind of wake up and be like, wait a minute, let me think about this. They just seem to brush it off, or they don't want to, research. I can say that I don't have any trust in the government at all.
But what about our people?
I got ballots here.
You think they're going to get back on the train and get provoked into voting their own destruction again when it comes to this Democrat Party?
I believe they will. I believe they will fall for it.
Okay.
Yep. And my grandmother, she's 89 years old. I take care of her. And I remember when Obama was running, and just to kind of elaborate on that, my grandmother, I was like, Grandma, aren't you going to vote? And she was like, no. And I was like, why? At the time she was several years younger, but I didn't understand it. And she told me, they're going to put whoever they want in office anyway. And here I am almost 15, 20 years later, just now figuring everything out.
Lord bless her soul.
And still to this day, yes, she still believes in that same. She's just like, no, that she doesn't trust in the government. And I can see why now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
I voted, but
you voted
my
for
eyes
who?
wasn't open then. I had voted for Obama.
Okay.
Yeah, with false intentions, believing that he would make change for the people, and having hope of having a black president. But once again, I was not in the word like I should have been. I was very lukewarm. My mom was teaching me, trying to get me close to the truth, but I was still asleep. So
okay.
I just praise the Most High that I'm now more mature. I've grown. I've got my family involved. We are currently now attending the GOCC church here in Pomona.
Praise the Most High. Well,
Yes.
sister, bless you. welcome to the awakening. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you, Elder.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Okay. I didn't have a chance to show it today. I'll show it Friday. Brother Lamont Fountain, who came on, man of gun, concerning, let's get it here. Do I have it here? Concerning the echoes of the Ramapo. Let me give that to y'all. 1 second. Let me put it up here. Echoes of the Ramapo. Right? As you can see, the pilot is done. The pilot is done for Echoes of the Ramapo. Like I said, y'all started donating and helping. Right now, the GoFundMe is at what? Let's see. Is there a number there? Right now, it's at 1822. Echoes of the Ramapo. Right? And he already finished a pilot. Right?
From contact, the Ramapo people covered a fairly large area of territory. Of course, we didn't call ourselves the Ramapo, just called ourselves Lenape. The land that we covered was from the Raritan River in New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, in New York, up to around Albany, in Connecticut, close to the Connecticut River.
A tale of resistance, struggle, and unyielding spirit of Muncie Ramapo tribe. Here amidst the ancient hills and valleys, the Turtle Clan has
Echoes of the Ramapo. Ford Motors was dumping all types of stuff on them, and now a documentary will soon reveal this evil against the tribe of Gad. In the chat is the link. I'm going to show the full trailer this coming Friday. Do me a favor, if you haven't contributed to this, we want to make this a big production. Please click the link and go there and check out the trailers. I'm going to do a more detailed video on this soon to see where we have gone. Right now, we're at $1,820, and we have a long way to go. But we have to bring this. Don't forget, this is going to be on the big screen or on one of the serious streaming platforms. So this is going to resonate, and the government and others have been trying to keep this silent. I'm behind this 100%. Please go and help with this campaign. Already the trailer is done, and we're gonna and soon it'll be going into full production once it hit a certain number. Okay. With that, thank you, Elder Lawya. Thank you, brothers and sisters. This concludes our program for today, this evening. America's Babylon's final administration. Stay prayed up, sin not. We will soon see Zion. And keep in mind, the Most High is calling back the children of Israel. That's right. We're the Israelites. We believe in Christ in the name of Yeshua, and we're back.
The Arabs and Africans told us
at gunpoint.
Together our wives and children that sold us.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
These great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. Rawchaa in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans, from the Israel, Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians. Our highest gathering is Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulun,